I lost the civil case. I did, but I do genuinely want to respect the court's decision. I believe, even though I lost the case, I do believe that this still gets me to where I want to go, which is for all parties to simply move on.
I just don't think it's that deep. You don't understand, man. I don't think, like, once again, there's a reason why I don't call Asmongold an acquaintance. I call him a friend. I don't like there even being a chance of me beefing with my homies. And I get it. You can disagree with your homies. You can shit talk your homies. But I firmly believe in the compliment sandwich.
This user validation, vanity, forget it. This user. Weasley little liar, dude. Bloodlust right now.
Crazy ass.
Well, Tectone, I remember, was like, it was very cringe. He kept tweeting out, should I buy a Tesla? Elon, get me a Tesla. Elon, I'll buy a Tesla if you retweet me. Elon. But this is true. This don't look so good because he is... I mean, is this really race baiting? So how is it the white man's fault that blacks in Somalia still have slaves? It's not our fault, I don't think. So Elon appropriately responds with, Yo, I bought a Tesla, by the way. These things are great. Thanks for saving free speech in America. Like, can Tectone breathe with all that fucking gagging he must be doing on Elon's cock? Am I wrong? This is just gross. Like, why don't you get out there with your little panhandle? What the fuck? You can see he was so excited, immediately replying back. I don't think he did. Shut up, Tectone. Tectone finally got an Elon reply after years of offering to suck him off. Who would have guessed all it took was a little white supremacist race baiting? That's what I don't get. Is that white supremacist stuff to say it's not my fault there's slavery in another country? Yeah, free the fucking slaves. Why don't you all go out and fucking protest for them then? Get out there. You won't. Pretty sure Rape Tone is a closeted gay with how hard he sucks Elon. He wanted one for free, I think. I have to agree with Tectone though. Oh, truth cutter. Is that what you do? You cut the truth both ways? The glass hurts you, does it? When life gets you down and your world seems like shit, remember guys, you can be a dick rider just like Tectone. I mean, are you guys saying gay sex is bad or something? Are you being homophobic? Don't do that. If a rocket's launch is powered by that thinking face, we're all about to get a PhD in meme physics. Alright. Now, I was hype on Tectone for like 10 minutes of this EHD journey, I'll say, because he fucking gave the best speeches against fucking Frogan, and no one should feel bad about anything with Frogan ever, because she's a horrible person that took all that GoFundMe money, defaulted, and then needed to borrow money for an Xbox card. It was a whole thing. She's horrible. This is when he was based.
Like, the only point of this is to farm outrage.
Kind of like you post things about race baiting things, like we're not fighting the Somalians right now, and that was like when we were talking about Minnesota. You know how politics is, Tectone. Moved on forever the fuck ago. Like, you're allowed to race bait, but Frogan's not allowed to live her best life?
Good God, fucking Jabba the Hutt just causing issues for no reason, man. Jesus Christ. Good God, fatty. Fucking going on the internet causing problems rather than going to fucking...
Oh, is this where he got banned? I feel like, no, he called her fat after she insulted the troops. So he's called her fat several times.
Total, Jim. Get a fucking grip, you disgusting piece of shit.
Once again, I disavow. I don't think Frogan's that fat. I think she just wears very unflattering clothes. No, you see, Dream Killer Mike, they know that. They can look that up. They went to school. They know better, but they pretend not to know, so that way they have the moral high ground, and anyone who brings up race is a bad person. I think that's how it works. Okay, so that was when he was cool. But now, this is current day Asmond. You see, I mean, no, current day Tectone. Asmongold is still cool. There really is nothing to cancel him for, despite what everybody says. He's not a horrible person, and several people like him because he's just himself, right? But some of his friends keep getting canceled, a lot of them really, so he kind of is just living like a hermit now and not acknowledging any of them anymore. And Tectone, obviously, because he lost that court case, and I think Asmongold's like, so now Tectone's by himself, streaming on fucking Kick. Wasn't he streaming on Twitch? How these people move around so fast?
It's like, dude, I hate this. It's like stressing me the fuck out because, like, you guys gotta understand, when I started streaming, Asmongold was like the guy that I looked to for like everything, right?
Cringe. Like I said, I'm unimpressed by Asmongold. He just says milquetoast takes anyone else would have come up with. He's just that fucking moist critical, but not afraid to say edgy things.
So, like, I'm just hoping whatever curse has been put on him can stop, because I'm literally getting anxiety by every other day I have to say, well, I disagree with Asmon here, because, like, once every month is fine, but it's been like 8 in a row, and I'm freaking the fuck out. I can't handle it anymore. I can't handle it. Just let me relax and say, hey, that's my motherfucking boy. I love that fucking dude.
See, why does he... I believe he's totally fake and he just puts this stuff on to be an entertainer. It's kind of cringe to me to get this impassioned. Like, this is no different than Hassan crying about Zoran Mandami, freezing him out at parties. Like, when you cry about someone not giving you attention, I don't see what the joke is. I don't see how you're cool.
It's gotta be the Jews. I just don't think it's that deep. You don't understand, man. I don't think, like, once again, there's a reason why I don't call Asmongold an acquaintance. I call him a friend. I don't like there even being a chance of me beefing with my homies. And I get it. You can disagree with your homies. You can shit talk your homies. But I firmly believe in the compliment sandwich. I firmly believe in the compliment.
I mean, is he acting? He kind of sounds like someone's in the background with a sniper rifle, and it's like, you better get cool with one true king again. Bring back OTK. Do it, or we'll end your whole family. I mean, Asmond is not the poorest person in the room, so I bet everybody would like to be close with him, but I said it's kind of weird. Well, they all live in Austin, Texas, though, I guess. These people could hang out in real life. But Ian and Ethan and fucking Hassan never went out to the streets to have a fight.
Compliment sandwich. And I haven't had the opportunity to put in a compliment between these fucking criticisms because it's been like 8 shit takes in a row. It's fucking stressing me out. It's like, come on, what is going on? Dude, you can check my logs in his fucking stream chat. I even crashed out on him because he gave this shit. Dude, he gave the State of Play live stream a fucking A for the one that announced God of War La Fey. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Holy fuck. Anyways, it's just been a lot. I don't know, man. It's too much. I can't keep...
Like, it's very interesting he wants to talk about, I guess these are gaming opinions, but you know, gamer opinions are more important than the usual affair, politics and whatnot. But, well, what other opinions has Asmond had? There was fucking Eugenics W. Tectone has admitted in some documents, like, that got recorded for court, that this is all fake. His friends, after being such a believe all women and being a leftist for a while, but then he had accusations on him, he decided to switch. You got accusations on you? Go right-leaning, then people think you're a victim of something, apparently. That's the game here, allegedly.
Doing this. Early morning crash out too. He's just a Democrat. No, he's not. No, he's not.
I bet you, I don't know if Asmond's ever taken the compass, but I think he's actually there with XQC and center-left.
He's not, and I will not tolerate you calling him a filthy Democrat and a filthy liberal. Since the dog killing take in Stellar Blade, he's been way off. You're not hallucinating. I swear to God, I'm the... dude, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm the only motherfucker who sees this.
How does this even get clipped? Like, is OP watching Tectone on the low? Slow ass chat. This dude fell off. What? He didn't get banned from Twitch or YouTube, did he? Why is he on Kick? I've seen streamers. Nah. I think his chat was fine. Is this what mental illness looks like? This is attention-seeking behavior, I think, is what we're seeing here. Never gonna upvote anything Tectone related until Google results puts him on the 10th page. Google results shouldn't be giving us Reddit first anyway, but we all decided that's how we want. Okay, so now what the plan is, so we can see both sides, a both side argument, because I don't know shit. Think Before You Sleep, some of his videos I like. A lot of his older ones I did not, because I think it's unfortunate that he's born with that voice. It's not his fault, but he kind of does sound fucking smug. Fucking smug as fuck. But he does have interesting things to say. He made a video on why Tectone is a victim, but before we do that, he made this video on liberal white women. Since Tectone wanted to bring it all politics, is going to be like a baseline. This is going to be, let's look at normal Think Before You Sleep content. An average video, his newest one, and then we'll look at his Tectone video. And then after that, it'll be RobsMedia's Tectone video, which takes the opposite stance.
For today's video, I wanted to discuss a more serious topic, and we're going to be talking about racism in the
Oh yeah, the serious subject lets me have my AI shit on, my elf ears, and my little finger mic. I don't, like I said, I'm sorry, are you all gonna expose someone? Are you gonna talk about those awful rape cases in Britain? I'm not taking it seriously because you're not taking it fucking seriously. There's a little girl's room. Tell us about fucking evil today.
cosplay community. I do want to put some content warnings for this video because it has quite a few topics that will be triggering for a lot of people, obviously including racism, discrimination.
Are we still doing trigger warnings this day in 2026? Fucking, ugh.
We're also going to be talking about a lot of kind of quite scary right-wing beliefs, so if any of those topics sound like they are too upsetting for you to hear, please take care of yourself and your mental health first, and I will see you in the next video.
We're gonna watch his video on Tectone. Apparently he's sweeping. Nick Diorio, who I do like. I like people from both of these crews. Okay, so this is why with Tectone I gotta see who's the bad people and who's the good people.
Tectone went to court today, and he lost the court case against Pink Chew.
And why was Ms. Kiff like fucking Ms. Kiff was like invested. Somehow breaking the news on Tectone was gonna forgive all of his sins. Everybody who's on Kick is suspect.
Tectone with his 5 lawyers lost. She had 1, and she won. That's how bad it was. For the next 10 years, Tectone can't own guns and has to pay all of her attorney fees, which is hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Thanks, Ms.
I'm okay with Tectone not owning a gun, to be honest.
Skiff. We can always trust you to report things accurately. In case you haven't heard, Twitch streamer Tectone and an ex-girlfriend of his who goes by Pink Chew have been in a legal battle after Pink Chew publicly accused Tectone of sexually assaulting her. Recently, Pink Chew filed for a protective order.
Am I to believe everyone's so victimized and traumatized? But, like, sorry, why is everybody on stream all the time? It just doesn't seem like the career path for someone that's been emotionally crippled. But, like you said, no, we can't do this. We listen to all victims for real.
Which is to prevent stalking and harassment, and Tectone lost a motion to get it dismissed. Now, before we get into all this, let me just say that I'm not even remotely neutral on whose side I'm on. I started out neutral. I started out with the mindset of, let's take a look at the facts of the case. Maybe there's some nuance here. Maybe both parties did something bad at certain points. Usually that's how relationships in particular work. But my mind changed when I began researching, and I think after you guys watching see the details, you'll come to the same conclusion that I did, which is that this is a massive failure of the justice system, which is why this video is a defense of Tectone. It's about how, in my opinion, none of the assault allegations were true, and it's about how this whole situation was a coordinated effort from multiple streamers to ruin his career. That being said,
Like, I will put a little bookmark in the thing that it was Ms. Kiff who made sure to fucking run onto Twitter and reveal everything from every transcript the day it dropped. Ms. Kiff has his own problems, and this was like after Ewww threatened to sue him. I don't think anything came of that, did it? Like, all that stuff, and then all of a sudden he's throwing Tectone under the bus. I will say that is sussy.
Tectone, or John, is a popular Twitch streamer who started out by playing gacha games.
I played Genshin Impact, so you don't have to. So it's Breath of the Wild, but worse, but with waifus. Also, be careful of shit-talking Paimon's English voice acting.
More recently, Tectone is known for calling out how entitled the least talented video game voice actors are, and for helping expose Hassan Piker as an animal abuser. And this is Pink Chew.
Hey officer, you ever realize how hard it is to say rough 2 times in a row?
Rough?
Good boy.
Well, that was cringe. Anyway, Pinkchu, who also goes by her middle name Ashley, is an OnlyFans creator who's achieved success after getting a very noticeable amount of plastic surgery, followed by a generous use of photo editing tools. I mean, this is an insane amount of catfishing. I'm not even looking at the same person when I compare a live stream to a photo of her. Which brings us to November 20th, 2024, where Pinkchu goes on an alternate account to make a post accusing someone of forcing her into oral sex. And everyone immediately assumed that...
This isn't gonna be like the fucking... what was it? The super mega cancellation. The fucking... Oh god, Lex up dog. But I don't know, I could see... I'm not ready to make any fucking claims of anything, because I could see someone like Tectone thinking, oh, she is an OnlyFriends model, so I can do whatever I want to her.
She was talking about Tectone.
If you can believe it, Tectone actually is a piece of shit. His ex-girlfriend, Pinky Chew, she's...
Now, this is why I just thought that Tectone was innocent, was because, you know, Denims had an opinion, so it must have been fucking wrong.
come out to speak about his sexual assault against her. How do you know that she's referring to Tectone? Because it's on LSF and they're not following each other anymore.
She's referring to this live stream fails post from an anonymous account announcing that Pinkchu was referring to Tectone. I mean, there were also obvious context clues like saying they live together, and who posts something to a public forum if they believe that the audience isn't going to know who they're talking about? So let's be clear, everybody on the internet knew this was Tectone despite her not saying his name in the post. So obviously Tectone had to respond, and he did.
Why was he fatter back then?
Did so at first, but not specifically naming who he was talking about.
So if you're confused, you're going to stay confused. Because this shit is not about content for me. Okay? I know the person who needs to hear this is going to hear this. And I mean this genuinely. I did everything for you. I helped you with everything. I fixed everything for you. I was there for you like nobody else was there for you in your whole life. Your words, not mine.
Now, he does sound pretty mad here, which is why people such as Denims interpreted this as a definite confirmation that he was an abuser.
Your words, not mine.
Oh my god, he even talks like an abuser. Holy shit. Thank you.
Denim, shut the fuck up! If he is an abuser, okay. Like, let's say, I really do think, with the amount of times these people get swatted and shit, one of them could very well be a serial killer and the cops just don't come to their house anymore because they're like, oh, dumb internet shit. Like, how do we know Keemstar doesn't have bodies in the fucking basement? The cops ain't going to his house, right? I hate when fucking idiots... This is why I'm like, you gotta be serious when you handle extreme, like, important trigger warning, like, type subjects, right? Because I don't take a fucking thing this woman says seriously. So I'm like, oh, this guy, he probably did nothing wrong. And then somehow, because of fucking useful idiots like this, that is how real abusers get by. I can't stand the shit.
Such a dumbass that he doesn't realize how bad this makes him look.
Well, yeah, the problem is that he has an inflated ego and he's stupid, which is like a horrible combination to have.
Well, that was the projection of the century, and though maybe that video out of context was a bad look for Tectone, trust me, as we go over the court transcript, not Mizkiv's transcript that his idiot friend wrote, I mean the actual court transcript. So when we go over the real transcript, you're going to understand...
Oh shit, is that true? He just fucking write one.
Why Tectone was a little angry there. In fact, I think he was quite polite. That transcript is infuriating knowing that it was used to take someone's First and Second Amendment rights away for 10 years. Anyway, on November 22nd, 2024, 2 days after Pinkchu makes her allegations, Tectone confirms on Twitter that Pinkchu was talking about him. He says that she has 2 weeks to apologize and admit that her allegations were false, or he will sue her for what I imagine was defamation, citing that he will also pursue legal action against those who knowingly repeat her lies with reckless disregard for the truth. Tectone goes on to say that he's willing to work with law enforcement and is ready to prove his innocence. And then Keemstar comments with some words of wisdom at the end. Which brings us to Travis County in Texas on January 23rd of 2026, and a hearing for a protective order filed by Linda Ashley Lamar, that's Pinkchu, against John Robertson, that's Tectone.
Tectone with his 5 lawyers.
Tectone and his 1 lawyer, that's 1 lawyer, Mizkiff. I don't know why you would lie about something that was so easy to disprove.
I'm smart.
Yeah, like, this is why I am gonna be very curious. I'm gonna, like, consider... Since Nick Diorio recommends it, RobsMedia, to be the anti-Tectone side, I am really gonna have to see this being addressed. I don't know how. Cause that the whole internet dramasphere shit on Mizkif for like a month straight and then turns around and takes his absolute word for everything. Look at this fucking face. This guy's a serial killer. He will just rob your house and take everything of worth from you and throw you in the gutter. I hate to say it.
I'm not going live and saying things that are stupid. I'm not going live and being not strategic with my words and my actions. I'm being smart.
Right. Mizkif sent a friend of his to go to court and take notes on the day of the hearing. Seems like the information wasn't very accurate. So Tectone's 1 lawyer is Geoffrey Purrier, a guy with an enviable jawline, and Pinkchu's lawyer is Michelle Locke, an aspiring self-help influencer.
Life is a journey. Life has ups and downs.
Very insightful words of wisdom. Last, the case is being heard by Judge Dimple Malhotra. Just for clarification, this is a civil case. Conveniently, a lot of these types of allegations seem to be tried in civil courts, probably because the burden of proof there is much lower than in criminal courts.
I want you to understand something, chat. That the judge agreed.
Yeah, but fun fact, think before you sleep. Civil court, you're allowed to do perjury and no one gives a fuck. There's really no punishment for it.
With that. Now, the judge was not empowered to put him in prison directly because that was not a criminal case. Had it been a criminal case and had he been given a bench trial, he would have gone to prison as a rapist right then.
God, these idiots are annoying. For those of you who don't know, Mike from PA is the guy who pretended to be a licensed attorney to run for the Pennsylvania legislature, but the state Supreme Court kicked him off the ballot after they found him misrepresenting himself. Now he's pretending to be an authority on the law on Twitch. Spoilers, most of the law influencers get shit wrong all the time, and they aren't really that trustworthy. Anyway, in reality, there was a police investigation, but it didn't go anywhere, let alone prosecute. So Pink Shoe claimed that she would put a pause on pressing criminal charges because she was afraid of Tectone retaliating, which I don't believe because he...
That's why I didn't pause or say anything, because, like, fucking a Mike from PA having a voice. And, okay, Hassan, that's one thing. You got people who are there to make fun of him, and man, maybe, like, it was fun seeing him show off his toys. Maybe it's fun watching him in an XQC, because they all do React content. Maybe his React content's good. I don't know. There is no justifiable fucking reason for anybody to be watching Mike from PA. It's everything about him is detestable. He looks like he's fucking bootleg goddamn Ron Jeremy. But, like, you'd never want to see him in a porn.
Publicly said he would cooperate with the police. And also, if Pink Shoe was actually afraid, she wouldn't have continued to attack Tectone legally. Personally, I think the only reason that a protective order was filed is because she wants to attack him, and there's no way in hell that she would have won a criminal case. Now, just so it's less confusing and because there's no video of this hearing, as we go over the transcript, I'll put pictures on the side of who is talking. That being said, Pink Shoe's lawyer starts her opening statement by blaming Pink Shoe's lack of evidence to corroborate her story on the fact that she's autistic. Pink Shoe's primary argument here is that, as a person who was nearly 30 at the time, she didn't realize that she was being abused until someone else told her, because she's very slightly autistic. What, did they take that argument from TikTok? So anyway, you know, if there's like a mountain of evidence...
Sorry, once again, I feel like there are real victims in this world. Like, if like you said, if someone was like a serious abuser in this world of they have evidence and all this shit and cops, I don't know, we see they do good investigations in some states, we see on the body cams, like, everyone just streaming though, and they're continuing with their fucking culture, and you got Mizkif. It is just a bit too sussy for me.
Evidence showing that this was all consensual. Well, just ignore that because Pink Shoe changed her mind after the breakup, and after Tectone got into a relationship with a different woman. What a convenient set of circumstances. That being said, let's go to the first allegation of assault. Pink Shoe said that she had recently gotten breast implants, so this is a plastic surgery related allegation. Now, I'm going to redact some of this information to make it YouTube safe, but the page numbers are all there, so you can just look it up for yourself. Basically, the allegation was that Pink Shoe could not perform because of her recent surgery, so Tectone found other non-consensual means, allegedly.
Much love to this queen. I mean, seriously, I'm sorry that you had to go through all of that and then probably get traumatized.
Shut the fuck up, Hassan. Yeah, thank goodness she wasn't Israeli or you wouldn't give a shit.
Altogether one more time in the court process, but at least now you have a moment of respite.
To further elaborate on the context here, Pink Shoe testifies that she had been living with Tectone in exchange for sexual favors. Personally, I don't believe this version of the story at all. After reading through the transcript, it is very clear to me that they were living together because they were in a relationship. For reference, Pink Shoe and Tectone's relationship started in December of 2022, and they broke up around June or July of 2024. About a month later, in July or August, Tectone meets his now fiancée, Sophia, and a few months later, in November, Pink Shoe accuses Tectone of sexual assault. Which brings us to the second allegation. Again, pictures are here to indicate who is in the conversation. If you see a Q though, that means a lawyer is talking, and if you see an A, that's going to be either Tectone or Pink Shoe talking. Anyway, Pink Shoe said that she had just gotten lip filler, and Tectone had forced her into oral sex, which had ruined the lip filler. Geez, another plastic surgery related incident? Do all of her allegations have some sort of plastic surgery involved? Now, is there any corroborating evidence that this happened? Not really. There may have been a doctor's appointment where she had to get the lip filler fixed. However, that doesn't prove anything because she could have just as easily screwed up the filler through regular consensual activity or something else entirely. But these are pretty much the allegations of assault. Now, when I say that Pink Shoe had no evidence of this stuff occurring, understand that her own testimony counts as evidence from a legal standpoint. So allow me to clarify what I mean. I'm saying she had no additional evidence to verify the truth of her story. And let me point out just how ridiculous this is. Tectone is a guy who is constantly on camera.
There's like a good 8 to 10 people.
This is kind of why I believe none of our influencers are actually pedophiles or predators, because when would they find the time?
Who have already said, he didn't do it. We know he didn't do it. We were there when they said it happened. That never happened. They say there's a third girl. They don't exist. They don't realize that the entirety of, well, a large portion of my house is fucking filmed on the inside of security cameras on the inside. That's how fucking paranoid I am.
This is a guy who streams for multiple hours a day, plus the couple of streams that he did with Pink Shoe. You're going to tell me that you have no footage, no audio recordings, and no text that make him look abusive or make him look like a stalker? You also have no testimony from other witnesses saying that Tectone was abusing you? This is despite the fact that there were 2 roommates living with them the entire time. So either Tectone is this master manipulator who can get away with all of this without a trace, which is a weird thing to argue because his opposition is constantly calling him stupid.
When he's literally I don't know how anyone fucking ever listens to this guy.
He's dumb as I honestly think he needs to be arrested just so he can experience what that is like, so he shuts the fuck up and goes away.
I genuinely don't understand how...
Mike, how does does Mike from PA never get banned from Twitch? I don't understand that either, because, like, okay, let's say Hassan is their poster boy. He gets all the views. Cool, good for him. Who the fuck watches, like, Mike from PA and Frogan, though?
Someone could be so fucking stupid to think that this is a good response.
So either he is this master manipulator who can fool anyone, or none of this shit happened, in my opinion. On that note, Pink Shoe's lawyer has finished questioning her client, so let's go to cross-examination from Tectone's lawyer, Joffrey. Before we get into this, though, it requires some backstory. For those of you who didn't know, Tectone was previously married for like 10 years to a woman whose name is Jessica. They divorced a while back. Now to me, the details here are kind of murky because an NDA was signed, and I only really have the court transcript to piece together what was going on. But remember how I said that Tectone has cameras everywhere? Well, it turns out that his ex-wife still had remote access to the cameras after the divorce, and allegedly, she was using some intimate footage between Tectone and Pink Shoe to blackmail them. And how this didn't land his ex-wife in jail is beyond me. Anyway, a lawsuit was filed, and a part of this lawsuit included Pink Shoe suing Tectone's ex-wife.
These people.
Because she called her Tectone's sex slave. Let me repeat this.
Like, this woman who fucking broke into Tectone's camera, if this is fucking true, is the person we need to keep tabs on. Hopefully she don't work for the government.
Pink Shoe sued his ex-wife because she accused her of being victimized by Tectone. Pink Shoe said it was defamatory to call her an abuse victim. Not only that, but this lawsuit occurs 1 month after her
Okay, so you're not an abuse victim. Why are you suing anybody?
alleged incidents of abuse, and she says these claims about her from Tectone's ex-wife were disgusting lies. What a weird thing to say, right? So that's our first counter to Pink Shoe's story, and just right there, throw the case out. You mean to tell me that someone called her an abuse victim and she spent money suing them to say, no, I'm not? The second part of this is that Pink Shoe went to a mental hospital in July of 2024, around 1 to 2 months after the alleged victimizations. When she's being questioned by her lawyer, she states that she went to the hospital because she just had to get out of the house. And if your first thought was, that makes no sense, then I would agree with you. This sounds like a lie. Now, I'm not a fan of Illymation, but I do think she has a very insightful video on mental hospitals. People don't go to mental...
Okay, think before you sleep. You must be a fan of Illymation then. You're still fucking following her videos, or are you waiting for an excuse to hate again? Please, the cool kids watch Jaden.
Hospitals just because they wanted to get out of the house. They go because they're either a danger to others or they're afraid of harming themselves.
Facilities like this save lives every day. There are 2 types of admission. The first is voluntary, which is where you go to the emergency room and say, hi, I don't feel safe. Can you please help me? And the second is involuntary, which is where your doctor or psychiatrist feels you're at grave risk to yourself or others. So they write you a note and send you to the hospital.
So it's a weird downplay from Pink Shoe to say that she just needed to get out of the house. If she wanted to do that, she could have just checked herself into a hotel or something. Note that Pink Shoe has more than enough money to do this. Also note that this admission into a mental hospital seems to have happened directly after Tectone broke up with her, so I'm guessing that the breakup caused thoughts of self-harm. Actually, it looks like the redactions here suggest something a little bit worse than self-harm. So honestly...
I'm sorry, but think before you sleep seems to be correct. If the lawsuit is over, I was called an abuse victim, then you're not an abuse victim. Why are we canceling anybody? You can't call this person an abuse victim. That's abusive. But Nick Diorio seems smart, and he says Tectone and Nux Taku are the worst human beings ever. So RobsMedia's gotta bring it. I'm excited for the next video.
I think checking herself into the mental hospital was a psychologically healthy thing to do. However, the issue with this hospital visit is that it works as evidence against her story of abuse. Let me start by saying that when she's being questioned by her lawyer, Pink Shoe said that after she got back from Austin Oaks, the mental hospital, she moved in with her mom, but as she was getting her stuff from Tectone's house, she told a roommate of his about how afraid she was of Tectone. Now, anytime you go to the hospital or see a doctor, they're going to ask you, why are you here? Surely if Tectone was so abusive that she just had to get out of the house, and she had to tell his roommate how afraid she was, she would have also told the doctors, well, you see, I had this really abusive ex-boyfriend. But she didn't do that. In fact, the doctors specifically asked her if she had been a victim of abuse. Pink Shoe says yes, but she doesn't mention Tectone. She mentions a prior non-Tectone relationship, and that's it. Keep in mind that the time period where she's alleging the abuse happened was 1 or 2 months before she goes to the mental hospital in July. Also keep in mind that Pink Shoe testified that she told Tectone's roommate 3 or so days after this questioning from the mental hospital, or around the same time, that she was afraid of Tectone, noting that his roommate did not come in to testify on her.
In her defense, Hassan was also afraid of Tectone. That's why he didn't go to TwitchCon. It couldn't possibly be because TwitchCon is a worthless piece of shit event.
Her behalf. She can't even get that corroborated. So I don't see how this can be considered as anything other than crucial evidence that Pink Shoe is making all of these allegations up. Now, her argument for why she didn't report to the mental hospital that she had been assaulted by Tectone is because she just didn't see it that way at the time. But again, immediately after she gets out of the hospital to collect her stuff, she tells Tectone's roommate about how scared she is. Conveniently, this change of story happens in a place where it couldn't be documented as evidence. Because, you know, if you were an abuse victim who was fleeing your house because you're afraid of your ex-boyfriend, certainly you would want to tell medical staff later so it could be used as evidence in a police investigation. This is why I don't believe anything that Pink Shoe says. There are tons of holes in her story and really nothing to defend her outside of taking her word for it. But that's not all. Before Pink Shoe goes to the mental hospital, there are text messages between her and Tectone, where Tectone, or John, says, "Text me when you're on your way, and please be safe." and then she tells him what hospital she's going to be at. He also says, if you need me, just text me. I'm sorry you're going through this. So when I read stuff like that, I think, wow, there was so much documented evidence of Tectone being supportive, but when it comes to him being abusive, you just have to take people's word for it. Isn't that odd? This is like no case of abuse that I've ever seen. Abusive people usually leave evidence everywhere because they can't help themselves. We're not done yet. Pinkchu and Tectone's lawyer Joffrey just...
Yeah, she needs to not know, because they don't own that word, but like, it's just weird that you gotta put your name in your fucking... She didn't get sexually assaulted because she's not a sexual assault victim. She said that herself, so what is the thing here? What is going on?
Discuss her leaving the mental hospital, and there's this part where Joffrey says, in fact, I believe he's listed, and the rest is blacked out. Judging by the context clues, I'm guessing that he's saying that Tectone was listed as an emergency contact, considering that Tectone said stuff like, if you need anything, let me know, and Pinkchu told him what hospital she was going to be at. So again, extremely weird behavior here, especially considering that Pinkchu communicates that her mom lives somewhere in the area, so why is she using her alleged abuser that she's afraid of as a contact instead of her mom? Moving on, let's talk about why a protection order was granted. In Texas, in order to get a protection order, the standard of proof is reasonable to believe. This is kind of a major issue for me when it comes to family court, and I think the law around this needs to be modified to prevent abuse, especially in cases like Tectone's where there is tons of counter evidence to his accuser's story. Reasonable to believe is a very low standard. It's like saying if one person thinks, yeah, that could have happened, that's enough to grant an order in Texas. This standard is even lower than the more likely than not to have happened standard, which is what we're all used to hearing about in civil court cases.
This is in Texas. I want to say this again. This is not California. This is not New York. This is not Illinois. This is not Massachusetts. This is Texas.
He's implying that it's impossible to get an order of protection in Texas when actually it seems to be fairly easy. Here's Michelle Locke, Pinkchu's lawyer, on her podcast saying that the standard of proof in these kinds of courts is very low.
When it comes to marriage and there are abusive instances, how important is it for someone to have that documented?
Your testimony alone can be enough. And people think, well, really? I don't have to have pictures of bruises? I mean, all those things would be great and helpful. It's not a requirement because judges every day make decisions based on the credibility of witnesses. And that's the bottom line. And so the court's gonna look at what you say, what he or she says, and then make the call on whether it's a believable story.
Let me remind you that Mike from PA is not a lawyer. He's an idiot propagandist who really seems to have his own boundary issues with women. Just because guns are more legal in Texas doesn't mean that this state always favors the right. A lot of bullshit occurs in Texas too. Also, this legal battle between Pinkchu and Tectone occurred in Travis County, which is where Austin is. Austin is like the California of Texas. But anyway, Pinkchu still has to prove that there is some sort of reason to believe that Tectone will be a danger to her. Before we go into this next section, I would like to point out that neither Michelle Locke or the judge really have a grasp over how social media works. Pinkchu's lawyer Michelle said in the transcripts that she doesn't really understand social media, and in this video that I found of the judge, she openly states that she doesn't really have an interest in being online.
And so, for me, I didn't even have social media, by the way, until I knew that I had to run.
Okay, so this is very important because essentially, all of Pinkchu's evidence for why she needs an order of protection and why Tectone is an ongoing threat is because of his social media posts. And if you as a judge don't understand social media, you're going to miss a ton of nuance. It's actually to the point where this court decision is quite scary and possibly a strong violation of the First Amendment. Personally, I think Pinkchu has taken advantage of the judge's lack of knowledge of social media and using that to lie. To talk about that, let's go to Exhibit 16, I think. This post from Tectone is still live, so I'll just show the actual tweet. It says, another OnlyFans woman lying about rape, then just moves on. No damage done to them. Ruin a man's life for 3 years. Why is this so common? This is from October 21st of...
Oh! You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say that. The fuck is wrong with you, internet people? Believe all women always. Or you're a Nazi.
2025, nearly a year after Tectone was accused, and he's signal boosting a post talking about a friend of his from OTK, who I guess was falsely accused. I don't know that situation too well, but that's what's being talked about. Pinkchu says that she believes that the tweet was about her, and then she says that Tectone makes posts like this.
Like, I'm beginning to think this girl has BPD. I mean, look at the fucking goth aesthetic fucking bullshit, like, and you're not pink at all.
To try to get his fans to attack her because she does OnlyFans, which is retarded because if you look at the comments on the tweet, you can see that people aren't talking about Pinkchu. You can't even find her name by doing a text search on the page. In fact, you can't see this in the court transcript, but since this tweet is still live, we know who Tectone is referring to in this tweet because he's quote tweeted a post talking about Azalea Lexi. So how in the hell is this comment about Pinkchu? By the way, this is in stark difference to her allegation post, where the top comment essentially is saying, hey, you're talking about Tectone, right? The irony here is that Pinkchu herself made the argument in court that people wouldn't know who she's talking about because Tectone's name wasn't mentioned in her tweets. But if you know anything about the internet, the minute you start vague posting like this, tons of people in the comments are going to start asking, oh my god, who is she talking about? Which will prompt all the know-it-alls to try to be the first person to say that it's Tectone. In fact, here's me doing this with the false allegations against Turkey Tom. You can see that I don't mention Tom in the post. People are asking who I'm talking about, and if you scroll through the comments, you can see several people explaining the reference. This is not like a secret behavior that people have. Anytime some sort of inside joke or a test question is posted on social media, tons of people go to the comment section looking for the person who will explain everything. So in my opinion, Pinkchu left Tectone's name out of this post to prevent a defamation lawsuit, but left in enough clues for people to to easily figure out who she was talking about, so her followers would say who it was for her. If she only wanted her friends to know about these allegations like she said in court, she wouldn't have posted it on social media. Anyway, back to Tectone. Here's where it gets scary. Remember that the order of protection was granted, meaning that Tectone is not allowed to talk about Pinkchu. Her evidence that this tweet was about her was purely on the basis of Tectone bringing up OnlyFans, and because she does OnlyFans. She actually makes this argument several times. Here's another one, Exhibit 20.
This does seem very I love Kim Possible a lot, stupid, nepo baby, autistic fucking arguments that don't make no sense. Noah the Otter, like, it's just they have no W, but they want the W.
Is also still alive, so I'll just bring it up. He's asking for OnlyFans models to stop giving life advice because you can see them naked for less than a Fortnite battle pass.
Where's her dignity? Oh, I don't know. I heard she's selling it for $5.
This is another post where if you scroll down, you can see that nobody is talking about Pinkchu, yet she is suggesting that these posts are targeted at her and designed to train Tectone's audience into hating her. Now, if you...
You're so vain. You probably think this Twitter post is about you, don't you?
If you were a judge who doesn't use social media that much, you would think, oh, well, that makes sense. Obviously, he's only mentioning OnlyFans because Pinkchu does OnlyFans. Why would anybody else talk about that? Except, talking about OnlyFans girls is an entire meta of content creation that has existed for years. And I don't know, maybe it has something to do with people like Morgpie trying to bend Twitch's rules so she can show her boobs to 13-year-olds and try to get them addicted to pornography. Maybe some of these women deserve to be criticized, so citing these posts as threats and possibly suggesting that Tectone can never talk about OnlyFans because of the order of protection, I think is a massive violation of the First Amendment. Second, in the same way that she cites these posts about OF, she also cites Tectone talking about illegal aliens as a threat towards her, saying, well, I'm half Mexican, so I'm almost a minority, and that...
Privilege! Privilege alert! Privilege alert! Someone with privilege taking stolen valor from a marginalized group in America! Deport her! For real, for real!
That means he's victimizing me with these posts. If this type of post counts as talking about Pinkchu, then
Guys, if this is the real transcript, I don't fucking know.
Tectone, as a social media influencer, can't talk about the most pressing issues of the past year because his ex-girlfriend is half Mexican? This is very stupid. She continues, and I think this is the most ridiculous part, and I think it's where she takes the most advantage of the judge's ignorance of social media. She says that Tectone makes call-out videos on certain influencers. These kinds of videos, by the way, are extremely common on YouTube. I mean, this reads like she's suggesting that YouTube drama should be illegal. She says here that if a protective order isn't granted, then he will continue...
Bullying can lead to suicide.
Relentlessly harassing and threatening her to the point where her life will be in danger. This is absolutely ridiculous. Over the past handful of days, Tectone and Misgif have made like 18 videos on each other. By her logic, you would think that both of them would have been dead 10 times over by now. Keep in mind that between the breakup in July and the time that Pinkchu made her allegations on November 20th, 2024, I can't find a single instance where Pinkchu's name is mentioned by Tectone, and she certainly doesn't provide any mentions outside of his post on November 22nd. And keep the context here in mind. Tectone and Pinkchu break up. Tectone is silent about Pinkchu until she accuses him of assault. Then Tectone makes a post saying, I'm going to sue you if you don't apologize. In this context, he's just defending himself. Like he is being legally punished here for defending himself against allegations that had no corroborating evidence.
I think this is the main reason why Tectone has been...
This is like the legal version, if this side of the story is to be true, this is the legal version of what Taylor Lorenz does by writing stupid shit in an editorial opinion piece, but then getting herself as a source on Wikipedia, so then she can then source herself and say a fact is totally real, guys.
Become so extreme. And whenever you think about it, really calling somebody a rapist is one of like the top 3 things that you can say to somebody that is career destroying, career ending, or damaging.
Right, that's a career ending allegation. And during the court case, Tectone said that he was dropped from his partnership with...
I will say, commentary community, I am surprised, because this used to not be cool. Fake allegations.
The OTK.
I'm on Tectone's side so far. If these are the real transcripts, I don't understand this lawsuit. She's not suing because she got sexually assaulted. She's suing because her feelings got hurt, that she got called a sexual assault victim. So therefore, what the fuck is this court case about? Why did a judge not throw this out going on this? And this is the people...
Almost immediately after Pinkchu's allegations. By the way, if you're thinking she must be the innocent party because she filed for the protective order, note that protective orders get abused actually quite a lot. In fact, if you watched my video on Alexa Nicholas, who was falsely accused of leaking sealed court documents by a good friend of Taylor Lorenz, you would know that she mentioned that she had a stalker who was harassing her and her family. That stalker filed a restraining order against her. So yes, these orders can be weaponized. And speaking of that, here's the fun part. I think this was all a coordinated effort against Tectone from multiple streamers. Let's move on to another stupid argument that Pinkchu makes that you would only think is valid if you didn't understand social media. On page 144, Pinkchu says that Tectone destroyed her streaming career when he made his post on November 22nd. Now, personally, I don't know the validity of her claim. She provides no evidence of this outside of saying that's what happened, and she could have just as easily nuked her own Twitch channel to hide evidence that Tectone wasn't actually abusive, since they did a lot of streams together. But nonetheless, she's suggesting that her online career was over.
Isn't this everything that Ewww was accusing Mizkif of? And as I said, did she ever actually sue him? It just feels like everyone's copying plot lines off each other.
And her life was ruined, which is stupid because her primary income is Fansly and OnlyFans. It's stupid because hating on
Sorry, I'm not believing all victims because there is no victimization here. And how traumatized can you be if you're still on OnlyFans selling pictures of your fucking body? I'm sorry. There is no reason to do fucking sex work. Get a goddamn job. It cannot be mentally healthy. I'm not against people doing it. I'm just saying it cannot be mentally healthy. Of course you have a mental illness.
OnlyFans creators only makes them more popular. Everyone who is good at social media knows that. That's why OF chicks go on podcasts like Whatever or Fresh and Fit and say dumb stuff. It's to promote their content.
When you got kicked off of Fresh and Fit the first time, how much money did you make, girl, afterwards? Like, how many...
Fresh and Fit, there's no one that does more for OnlyFans women than Fresh and Fit. You have helped sex workers more than anybody, I think, in the world. You have given us the world. Every time I come on your show, my money goes way up. And then he kicked me off, and then he invited me back on. So
the only bad press that you can get for OnlyFans is being unattractive. People don't care about the morality of a porn star. It's actually kind of a problem because you can inadvertently make the thing more popular by criticizing it. So Pink suggesting that her life was over after a single tweet from Tectone, where keep in mind, he was defending himself against allegations with no corroborating evidence. It's his right to do that. So Pink suggesting that her life was over after that tweet couldn't be further from the truth. She's now more popular than ever and has more social media followers than Tectone between Instagram and TikTok. In fact, don't take my word for it. Take it from Mujin, who said on Twitter, "Let it be known that from this point onward, anyone still caught
Okay, now Mujin's the one that made those fucking videos on the one fuckboy from Japan, the Suko or whoever. I don't trust Mujin.
defending Tectone is purposefully ignoring facts for what is most likely a desperate and pathetic attempt at gaining favor or clout. I mean, maybe, though I'm not sure what facts he was talking about. Note that he said this before the transcript was made available, so real smart of him to not wait until the evidence was public. However, you can see that he is very much on Pink Chu's side, and more importantly, you can see him stating here that she makes significantly more money than Tectone. Weird, because a statement like that makes her look like she's the one who actually has more power, and thus makes her look like the aggressor. But here's the part where things get interesting. Again, you would have to understand social media to recognize this stuff. On this page, page 144, Pink Chu mentions a girl named...
Well, stop making YouTube videos and go be a lawyer, TBYS.
Morgan, and then she says that she went to Los Angeles to do collabs. I think it was a mistake to say this because Morgan is almost certainly Morgpie, a person who Pink Chu has done numerous collabs with.
Not me. That's funny because I picked that card in a different group and it was me. But I'm a big one.
Again, she's done a number of collabs with Morgpie, like this one here at the gym. God, she must edit her photos a lot. I'm not even looking at the same person when she's on video and in a place where she can't cake on makeup. Anyway, there's tons of video evidence of them interacting with each other and tons of tweets and stuff, so this person, Morgan, is almost certainly Morgpie. Why is that interesting? Well, it's interesting because one of the things that Morgpie's...
Is it gonna wrap up into how Morgpie was the one... Lex Updog made the expose video on Super Mega. Her boyfriend signal boosted it and Nick is not green signal boosted it, but really it was Morgpie in the back with her little spider webs because one of those guys didn't call her back.
Famous for is helping signal boost false allegations against the YouTubers who run a channel called Super Mega. Turkey Tom made a huge video on it.
Super Mega is a comedy gaming channel with almost 1 million subscribers.
Yep. These uninspired bitches are all copying off each other, much like when Paris Hilton sucked that dick and got really popular and then Kim Kardashian copied her.
Run by Matt Watson and Ryan McGee. Over the past 2 years, the channel has found itself mired in endless controversy. However, none would prove as devastating as those levied in July of 2023. That month...
Oh, what are you gonna do, Nick Diorio? You hate Think Before You Sleep, but yet Turkey Tom seems cool with him. He fucking defended him in the Elevation drama, and now he's promoting him. He's got 1 million subs. There's crossover here. I'm just trying to figure out why Nick Diorio hates this little sector so much.
The cosplayer named Lex accused Super Mega's channel artist, Don, of SA. Matt and Ryan were named for mishandling the situation. This sparked enough backlash for a whole new wave of accusations to surface from former friends and employees. Lex's outright lies in her own video poisoned the well, and if her initial story about Don was true, it is severely discredited by the various falsehoods she spread. These falsehoods were supported by her boyfriend, Ethan is online, their friend, Nick is not green, their other friend, Leighton Stollard, Morgpie, and even Rav. All of these people spread provable lies to smear Super Mega as a brand.
Super Mega was a popular variety channel that had a podcast, and this was quite the Turkey Tom video. It's kind of like an epic set of false allegations. But where Morgpie plays a role is that she had a crush on one of the owners named Matt. Matt didn't want to pursue a relationship, but they hooked up twice, and then I think Matt chose a different girl over her.
Honestly, I cried for months over that guy. I was like, give me one of your shirts.
Yeah. Women are still women. It doesn't matter if you're a fucking whore on OnlyFans, it's being the gamer chick, any of that. We're still gonna fucking... I don't play these games. I'm hashtag not like other girls. But it's because I don't want to play. They enjoy playing, and it's gross.
So I posted a picture of me wearing the shirt I took of his onto my personal Twitter, not like my big one, but my other one. And he texted me after ghosting me after I asked him if he wanted to hang out again that night. He didn't respond to me asking if he wanted to hang out again. He responded with a screenshot of the post and was like, hey, can you take this down? Like, people have seen me in that shirt, like they know that shirt. Can you just take down this post?
Did you hear the part where she said she made the post on a second account? Kind of like similar to what Pink2 did. What an odd coincidence. To quickly sum things up, Morgpie became friends with a disgruntled ex-Super Mega employee named Leighton, whose goal was to do whatever he—
Oh my god, this guy. This was the guy that said Super Mega is trash because they only gave him 20k severance. That's like 10k more than they have to give in California, but they could have done more, actually.
could to ruin their career. Morgpie's purpose was to basically signal boost and give validity to all of the provably false things that Leighton was saying about Super Mega. During this time, she also doxes the ex-girlfriend and current girlfriend of one of the owners, and it seems like the doxing was intentional to get back at him for picking another girl over her. Again, these are very familiar circumstances.
So I was just talking about personal details being unnecessarily mentioned and weaponized to make me look worse, and unfortunately more people have jumped on that bandwagon. One of those people being Morgan, aka Morgpie. Morgan not only brought my current girlfriend into the situation on stream without her consent, she also name-dropped my girlfriend and revealed that we were in a relationship, which was not public information. I'm very private about my relationships, so this was a big blow. Morgan also brought my ex-girlfriend into the picture without her consent and has strongly hurt her because of this. She lied about conversations with my ex-girlfriend. She wrongly stated that I had been having a multiple-month affair with my current girlfriend while I was dating my ex-girlfriend. She also lied about not—
I'm sorry, Morgpie is what we call a skank.
Not knowing who my current girlfriend was, because she did know who that was and she used it as a segue to name drop her. She also falsely claimed that I was cheating on my current girlfriend, which is not true. They are both being harassed viciously and their personal lives are being used as weapons to make me look worse, and I think that's completely unacceptable.
And by the way, even though the allegations were false, they still succeeded. Super Mega took a huge hit and it really hasn't been the same since. Even after Super Mega was exonerated in the—
Now that Family Guy video was pretty funny. Stop being a hater, think before you sleep.
As of the public. So if you're wondering why people do these tactics and coordinate these ops on Discord and stuff, it's because they work. So where am I going with all this? Well, Pink2's official story is that she thought her relationship with Tectone was all consensual until after the breakup and after she confided in a friend who told her that actually she was being abused. And yes, this sounds very much like I consented to sex and then changed my mind later. It's like 2015 college feminist behavior. Anyway, my personal opinion is that the friend who Pink2 talked to was Morgpie, which is why her name randomly slips in the transcript. And I think the actual reason that Pink2 is doing all this is because she's mad that Tectone broke up with her, and she's mad that he is with someone else after she clearly was still into him when the relationship ended, based on texts that were shown in court. And what I mean is that on page 113, after the breakup, before she goes into the mental hospital, she's talking about how much she loves him and says, "I'm sorry if I ever hurt you. I'm going to get a full psych evaluation and get some real help." So I've read certain parts of this transcript a lot of times, particularly this part, and here it sounds like the actual story is that she was having regular psychological breakdowns. He got tired of putting up with it, so her going to the mental hospital was like, "No wait, I swear I'll change." I would also guess that she was threatening self-harm if he broke up with her, which is why she's saying, "I'm sorry if I ever hurt you," which again, makes her look like the abuser because threatening self-harm is emotional blackmail. Honestly, this visit to the mental hospital looks like some sort of bargain to get him back after the breakup, and I think the actual reason that Pink2 acted out on social media is because she's pissed off that Tectone moved on to somebody else. Based on the information that I've shown, I don't think this is that much of a stretch. Now, pay attention to who Pink2's friend Morgpie is friends with. Would it shock you if I said that Hassan Piker is a friend of hers? I don't know how every bad thing on social media always relates back to this social circle, but it seems to be the case. Why is that important? Well, Hassan Piker has this ongoing war with Asmongold, probably because he's mad that Asmon is more famous than him. Hassan likes to sit back and have his little lackeys do all the dirty work for him. This is a famous tactic of his, and he primarily works by not directly saying that he has certain values, but he will signal boost all the people who have the values that he wants to promote by watching their content on his stream. That being said, Tectone is friends with Asmongold. Hassan wants to attack Asmongold in any way that he can, so I think his lackeys came up with a plot to destroy Tectone. They do this a lot. Recently, Girl Hassan and promoter of Incest, aka Denims, randomly attacked Ewww for being friends with Asmongold.
This is true. Everybody remember when Denims made fucking anime lolly CP?
And for not talking about her politics, which was stupid and pointless.
Racist chud. Ember is friends with Asmongold, Lakari, Tectone, plus she thinks Ethan Klein's lawsuits are justified.
Asmongold's a bad person. Tectone is a bad person.
But going back to Tectone, seeing that Morgpie has already been involved in conspiracy behavior against Super Mega, I don't think it's that unreasonable to say that this tactic is being repeated a lot. Ethan Klein being yet another example of a person who Hassan's social circle has conspired against. So basically the lackeys create the noise, and then Hassan does stuff like signal boost false information about Tectone that was said.
And this is why I think it's bullshit, by the way, when someone like Pegasus is like, I can't believe this guy makes videos on Hassan every day, you know, because something new happens every day, and yeah, it breaks down, keeps an eye out. It's like a community watch on their disinformation campaign.
By Misgif.
Apparently Misgif sent like a court reporter to the court to take notes in this process.
No, what happened was Destiny was nice and said, Denims, you can go hang out you can leave this con, this VidCon, TwitchCon, whatever was going on in Miami. You can go, here's the keys to my apartment. You can go hang out over there. She went over there and then invited a guy who hates Destiny into his house and fucked him in Destiny's bed, and then there was cum all over the sheets. And then she threatened to release a voicemail where Destiny yelled at her for it. But then Destiny, he released the voicemail because he's like, how would this hurt me? And it's basically him indeed yelling at her for getting cum all over the bed. And how are we to be on her side?
Then he brought Hasanabi saying, like how when he shocked his dog. So apparently he did a right-wing pivot and he thought that, but Hasanabi bad would work in a court of law. This is why I always say nobody grifts to the left.
Sorry, that last line wasn't super relevant, but it was so stupid that I had to include it. If you read the court transcript, it was actually Pink Chew's lawyer who brings up that Hassan abuses animals, not Tectone. And the reason it was brought up was because of a retarded counter-argument that Pink Chew's lawyer made about the allegations against Tectone having no effect on how much hate he gets, because he brings up things like Hassan shocking his dog. It was such a stupid part of the transcript because Pink Chew's lawyer is arguing that Pink's pretty direct allegations against Tectone on Twitter of one of the most horrific crimes didn't really have an effect on how many threats he gets, because nobody could figure out that she was talking about him, despite numerous people in the comments saying that it was Tectone. But when Tectone says any random thing about OnlyFans, even when he's showing that he's referencing a different person, it's an immediate threat to Pink Chew's life. So again, I think there's a bigger thing going on here where a bunch of people are collaborating with Pink Chew to try to destroy Tectone, Morgpie being one of them. By the way, these people are often stupid, so they leave tons of evidence lying around. Here's Miskiff going on a huge tirade during his Tectone video, where he's basically blowing Hassan and the rest of the LA streamer scene.
You attacked Hassan for months, years now, shitting on Hassan, farming so much hate on the guy, acting like he's a problem. You're farming hate on Hassan Piker all fucking day, Frogan, people that are doing shit. You attack Pokimane, Cutie Cinderella.
See, I'm sorry, Miskiff is just such a bad actor in all this. I don't think he has any fans, and the people that he's defending don't like him either.
I don't think it's that much of a stretch to say that these people are talking, especially considering they live in the same area. I mean, Miskiff flat out admits to talking to Pink Chew, but you know, not out of concern for her well-being, but to point out that she didn't think it was weird when he shook her hand for too long that one time.
Then me and his ex-girlfriend started to talk, and I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I never ever said that in my fucking life. Why the fuck would I care about that? Like, I did not shake her hand a long time.
You can watch Miskiff for about 60 seconds and easily see that this guy only cares about himself. Personally, I think all of this drama farming for him is just to make people not pay attention to his ex-girlfriend Emiru's allegations, saying that he was pretty abusive.
After, like, all that Rust stuff happened was...
Why doesn't everybody just stop their ways? I love that Kirby lamp, though, whatever this is back here.
When the other domestic abuse stuff really started, he would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom. The holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room.
I'm sorry, but as a woman, is there a time where I can say you have the power, you have money, you have all the fucking power of Kirby behind you? Is Kirby not a real inspiration? Like, don't live with him anymore. You have the money to leave. Or why don't you get a protection order against him, like we seen so easy the fucking girl against Tectone did? Like, I think something was a bit hanky with this whole thing, because I don't think a single thing happened.
And literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. At the time, he also would more often do things like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die.
That is Austin, Texas. That is how they drive.
Like threatening to kill both of us.
Interesting story. So we have Miskiff talking to Pink Chew. Well, of course he was talking to Pink Chew because he couldn't have known about the court date and where to send his court reporter to take a bunch of factually inaccurate notes. In fact, this idiot friend of Miskiff's who goes by Axion publicly admits to being invited to the court by Pink Chew.
He knows me. I think he tried to get me kicked out or something. I can only assume. That's not for sure. Because the bailiff came over and asked me, are you here for her? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. Did Pink know? I said, yeah, she signed me up to be there.
What an idiot to have admitted that. So now we know that Miskiff and Axion's involvement was directly approved by Pink Chew, which is interesting because it seems to be the case that Miskiff has gone on a full-on disinformation campaign against Tectone, where he spreads numerous lies that are easy to disprove if you just look at the court transcript. So now I believe this chick even less. If she was being honest, then she wouldn't have to side with people who constantly make statements of fact that are...
No, I'm going through old drama. I want to see this. Think Before You Sleep is making a good argument that this is like super mega drama inspired. This pink person is just not a reliable witness. And if these are transcripts he's reading is true, this is a stupid kangaroo court fucking case in the first place. We're gonna see RobsMedia's take on why Tectone's bad, and then I'm gonna make my decision.
Easy to verify as false. Here's another stupid one that Miskiff said.
And has to pay all of her attorney fees, which is hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I don't like a fucking single thing that comes out of this motherfucker's mouth, though.
Not a small price.
Miskiff, if this is how factually accurate you are in reporting the story, then you should go work for CNN. The fees were around $15,000. It's said out loud in the courtroom, so his friend would have heard it. And you think a guy like Miskiff, who has his own allegations of abuse and is saying they aren't true, would be more careful to accurately report information, especially considering that this stuff is so easy to look up. Anyway, Miskiff also graciously leaked his own DMs, showing that he was talking to Mike from PA, another Hassan orbiter.
Well, Miskiff, I think, is a sociopath, and he relies knowing if I have this on screen, this document that came from a court reporter, and it looks official, my audience will question absolutely nothing, nor will any YouTuber.
Who went on to repeat other bombastic things about Tectone.
So there you have it, chat. Tectone is a rapist. He is a stalker. He's a danger.
Shut the fuck up, Mike from PA. I hate you.
To the community, and he should absolutely 100% be permanently banned from Twitch. And can someone explain to me why he's not been permanently banned from Twitch?
That is real crazy coming from a guy who was trying to get one of his viewers to assassinate a YouTuber he didn't like. Or was him simping over the $5 a month girl the more egregious offense? And last, as far as I've been able to find, I think Denims is a part of this as well, because she was openly saying that it was Tectone being accused of sexual assault before that was public. So personally, in my opinion, I think this whole situation was not because Pinkchi was afraid of Tectone. I think it was a coordinated effort by people who hate Tectone to try to ruin his career. I mean, also she has no proof that he's abusive outside of her saying he is. And let me elaborate on what I'm talking about. When Emiru accused Miskiff of being abusive, she brought receipts. She had Discord messages and then like a million schizo texts that he sent her after the breakup. Now I'm more likely to believe what she says because she can show documented behavior that supports her accusations. As for Tectone, the only time he mentions Pinkchu is after she accuses him of abuse, and what's really going on here is that she made an allegation with no corroborating evidence. Tectone says that's not true, and now he's getting legally punished for it. It's actually disturbing how often these types of situations happen. I mentioned recently that Turkey Tom was falsely accused by an ex-girlfriend of his in a situation that is strikingly similar to Tectone's, where 4 days after the breakup, she goes on to Kiwi Farms to accuse him of physical abuse, filming without consent, and engaging in weird fetishes.
Recently, I've been accused by an ex-girlfriend, along with an ex-partner, of non-consensually filming sexual encounters, being so rough and inconsiderate during sexual encounters that it bordered on assault.
I feel so bad that he even had to make this fucking video. Disgusting.
Encouraging eating disorders, being into age play, along with a litany of other completely baseless, false accusations.
The reality was that his ex-girlfriend Rowan was actively consenting to everything, including being filmed. She had a bunch of creepy fetishes, and she was trying to push Tom into behavior that he didn't want to engage with.
He never asked me. He would just pull out his phone and record. I wouldn't notice until maybe 30 seconds in a minute or a minute into it.
Now, I obviously can't and would never show these videos to anyone.
I don't know. I like living in reality where there are enough bad things going on in the fucking world. I don't have to make up bad things. I don't know how these women that make the fake allegations can, well, I guess because people are fake, be running around virtue signaling and shit. Like, you're a bad person? Don't you know that in your heart, that you were this selfish, that you tried to ruin a person's life because you're an attention seeker?
But in them, it's undeniable that she is staring directly into the camera from the moment the video starts. Because the reality is that every single time we recorded, I had explicit permission. Rowan texts me saying, quote, "Rape thing is so hot." My response to this is consensual.
Yeah, this was his response to every text message. I like consensual sex, please.
Sex is good.
It's funny because Tom sends texts that the FBI is watching. I just want to make sure that we've established that this is all consensual, okay? Somebody knew this was coming.
In the interview, it stated that our breakup took place in December, and that after that, she realized how bad it was, and she felt the need to contact Katie, who we're gonna get into later.
Gee, where have I heard that one before? If you watch Tom's video on the false allegations against him, it's an incredibly similar story to Tectone's, except I think Tom is a little bit more conscientious about this stuff, and so he made sure to have evidence of his ex openly saying that she would blackmail him.
Yeah, because he followed the fucking super mega drama.
If they didn't get back together.
Immediately after I told Rowan that I wanted to break up with her, she began threatening to post about me online.
I'm gonna make it hard for you to ever be in a relationship.
Okay, Rowan, I just want to move on and have my life, and you'll move on and have your life. And we can be in our own corners. We don't have to do damage to each other.
I don't think it's too crazy to record a breakup message to show that this was consensual. Like, if someone accuses you of rape, how are you gonna play this message where they're, like, begging for you not to leave them? I think this is what fucked up Patty Hearst's case when she was claiming to be a rape victim, too. Like, clearly you were in love with the guy, you were with him 2 years after you were free.
Like, do you think we'll ever be able to see each other?
After the way these conversations have gone today, I really don't think so.
Why?
Because you're, like, threatening to blackmail me.
I'm not. Well, if you don't come see me, then I will.
You know what's great about all this?
No, I'm on Noel's side with this. Fucking Tom kind of deserves it. I'll victim blame a man. Kind of fucking deserves it because he wants to be Destiny so bad.
Despite that Tom has her recorded saying that she will blackmail him, there really isn't much remedy you can get against someone for false allegations unless you sue them for defamation, which is expensive and hard to prove, and it's why people feel safe in falsely accusing somebody. And then asshats like Hassan will boost the false allegations without critical thought or saying where's the evidence.
By the way, one of your OG slop tuber ops, Turkey Tom, also caught a sexual assault allegation where he physically abused 2 of his exes. This didn't even reach your radar because he's laying low. No, it didn't reach my radar because I have so many fucking ops that have done like sexual assault that I don't even know who the fuck this one is. But that's crazy.
There he is, just agreeing with and validating the allegation with no pushback, despite knowing nothing about it. Luckily, Tom knew the exact way to humiliate his ex for blackmailing him and how to prove his innocence. But for average people, this can be life-destroying, and there's not really much you can do about it. Anyway, let's go to the court decision. Like everyone else, I already knew the results before I read this transcript, and I was still shocked to see this. Based on the testimony and the evidence that's been provided to the court does find that there are reasonable grounds to believe that the applicant is the victim of sexual assault. The court makes the additional finding that there are reasonable grounds to believe that the applicant is the victim of stalking and will grant a 10-year protective order. The court means the judge, by the way. The judge made this decision. Just to make it clear that this was not a trial by jury. Some additional things. Tectone has to pay $15,000 in lawyer fees to Pinkchu. He can't go anywhere near her. Who cares about that? He obviously doesn't want to go near her. He has lost his right to own a firearm for 10 years, which is nuts considering she didn't really have any evidence that Tectone was dangerous. And he's not allowed to talk about her, which again, is also ridiculous.
Is that true? Like, I know that it's just a fucking... could it be true? I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like, can you really take someone's gun away when you don't have that evidence? I thought, this is Texas, right? So, like, everyone, I guess everyone who says that they can't get a restraining order and no cops don't care about people being stalked, I guess you're all liars, according to this judge.
Not because he can't say the name Pinkchu for 10 years, but because of the criteria they consider to be a conversation about Pinkchu. As in, if Tectone ever talks about OnlyFans in a negative light, is he liable for criminal charges? This is insane. Knowing nothing going in, I don't think any reasonable person would have agreed with the judge here. So I started researching on who this person is. Judge Dimple Malhotra. If you go to her website, it basically describes her as an activist who started out by working in San Francisco, California. Remember how I said that Austin is the California of Texas? Also this.
It is so incredibly important that we celebrate and embrace diversity. And I think it's just so important even for this courtroom, when people walk into this courtroom and they're from different ethnicities, cultural backgrounds, socioeconomic.
I'm on team colorblind. How about you treat everybody fucking equal and don't consider their race when you do judgments? How about that?
Statuses. To be able to walk in and see someone who looks like me, I think provides a certain level of comfort to them.
An immigrant who grew up in the U.S. with a family environment deeply rooted in Indian culture. Judge Dimple Malhotra is the first and only person of South Asian descent elected to a judicial seat in Travis County history. Oh great, so she's one of those people where we have to focus on their race instead of their qualifications.
You know, oftentimes I think, especially for me, being an immigrant, being a woman of color.
Basically, I'm saying the judge is woke. Now, there were a bunch of arguments made by Pinkchu's lawyer that didn't really make sense to me. I mean the ones where she brings up Tectone talking about anti-white racism. What does that have to do with this case? What does it have to do with Pinkchu? Why did Pinkchu bring up that she's half Mexican? Why are they making arguments that are irrelevant and would clearly make a judge who ran as a Democrat think that Tectone is a racist? Keep in mind that this court case is occurring on January 23rd of 2026, which is during a bunch of anti-ICE riots and after Renee Good died. These are very politically polarized things to bring up that I think aren't relevant to Tectone's case. I'm guessing that maybe Pinkchu's lawyer did some research on the judge, and maybe this is why Judge Malhotra didn't notice things like Pinkchu's lawyer victim-blaming Tectone for his abuse as a child in her opening statements. Something that was immediately noticeable to me. I mean, this statement right here very much makes it seem like Pinkchu was trying to use shame to force Tectone into sex acts that he was uncomfortable with because of his childhood trauma. Wouldn't it be ironic if that were the case?
Because you spent your career doing domestic violence cases and you have a background, some might think that it would be hard for you to be impartial as the judge. Right. So how do you maintain your impartiality?
As a prosecutor, I took an oath to seek justice, not conviction.
See, I just think before you sleep does go the extra mile with his research and clips as far as going, like, looking up interviews from these judges and shit. Is RobsMedia gonna do that? I don't know.
And so people have to remember that and that, not to say that there aren't prosecutors in the world who are doing the wrong thing. Unfortunately, with every profession, you have people who really shouldn't be in that profession, who are there for the wrong reason. I took an oath as a judge to be fair and impartial. And that is also incredibly important. People walking into your courtroom deserve your impartiality and to listen to their side of the story.
That was hard to listen to considering her decision on Tectone's case. How do you stay impartial? That's easy. The answer is she doesn't. Now, this does seem like a random question to ask, so why was it brought up? Well, the answer to that, I think, is a much bigger issue than the diversity stuff from earlier. The answer, I think, is a massive conflict of interest. I believe she was asked that question because a few years prior to this interview, there was an article written on her about how a lawyer got her taken off his case because of her domestic violence activism. Now, I think that trying to stop domestic violence is great. However, I also agree with the defense attorney, Steve Brand, who says that her activism makes her biased towards alleged victims, and there's no way he could win a case with her as a judge. He also kind of recommends that every defense lawyer should be filing a motion to remove her from their case. And personally, after reading the transcript of Tectone's hearing, I agree. And in my armchair internet lawyer opinion...
So yes, this is the transcript. If these things are all true, and Ms. Kiff's transcript is the fucking fake one, then I'm sorry. This is a stupid fucking court case, and it's a waste of fucking time, and it's a drain on fucking the court system, and I hate everybody.
And with 2020 hindsight, Tectone's lawyer should have gotten Judge Dimple removed and gone with somebody else. I'm curious how many other people like Tectone she's done this to, where the accuser has no corroborating evidence, mixed in with strong counter-evidence against her story.
A lot of people don't know that there's a huge intersection between gun violence and domestic violence. All the studies that have been done show us that over half of the cases where there have been mass shootings, the mass shooter has had a history of domestic violence.
Did I hear that correctly? Is this why Tectone has to be treated like a felon for something that, after reading the transcript, I don't think he did? It looks like she's on some sort of anti-gun crusade, which is why she took his access to firearms away for a decade. For a decade, when he's a streamer, which puts his life in danger. Has she ever heard of the phrase correlation does not equal causation? What evidence do you have that Tectone's going to crash out and become like a mass shooter or something? Is this why Pink Shoe's lawyer tried to associate him with white supremacy? Is it also why Pink Shoe's lawyer, immorally in my opinion, pretended to be a medical expert on schizophrenia to frame Tectone as an unmedicated psycho who could break any time? By the way, Tectone got re-diagnosed and he doesn't have schizophrenia.
I went to a psychiatrist yesterday. Guys, I'm not schizophrenic. The psychiatrist believes the reason why I see things that aren't there, mainly, well, at night.
Well, Nick DiOrio told me that Think Before You Sleep is actually very stupid and doesn't know what he's talking about. And everybody from the Austin, Texas streamers thing, they're all just race baiters and they have no talent. So, we're gonna watch an anti-Tectone video after this.
Is due to the fact
maybe we're missing something.
That I got stabbed in my left eye, and my right eye is normal. And so they believe that my eyeballs are causing me to temporarily hallucinate things that aren't there because they're not signaling my brain properly. And what they believe that I have is anxiety with bad vision as well as unresolved childhood trauma. And so I was going to actually try to get medicated. They said I do not require medication.
You have to read the transcript to get to the level of fuck these people that I'm at. Basically what's happened here is that to a judge who appears to be in favor of DEI and appears to be anti-gun, Pink Shoe's lawyer framed Tectone as a violent, unmedicated, schizophrenic neo-Nazi. Tectone is also
I just don't want to see, though, as a judge, like, what does this get you? This is just gonna get you fucking in shit one day. Like, the fucking person that stabbed the Ukrainian refugee on the train who was shown to have been in and out of prison 13 times, released by the same judge. Like, is anything gonna happen to that judge? Or are all lawyers gonna be like, she can't be on this fucking case because she's evil?
So he might as well be seen as a skinhead, too. No wonder this trial ended the way it did. This is so messed up, and I don't just think this is a violation of the First and the Second Amendment, but also a violation of the Eighth Amendment against cruel and unusual punishment. It's also clear to me, in my opinion, based on the evidence that I've shown, that a big part of the reason that Pink Shoe filed for this protective order is to avoid a defamation lawsuit. Maybe Tectone's biggest mistake here was being openly arrogant around all this during his live streams, but it's hard to blame him because who in the hell would have thought that he would have lost this case based on the evidence in the court transcripts? And you know what the real messed up thing is? Well, I said it already. Pink Shoe most likely will not receive any consequences for this, and Tectone will probably not be able to win an appeal because of how appeals court works. The sad truth is that there is very little recourse for victims of false allegations, and if Pink Shoe were found to be lying, which, in my opinion, she was, there's basically nothing that you can do outside of suing for defamation, which is incredibly expensive, hard to prove, and Tectone likely would not win a defamation case because the order of protection was granted. Well, if he's even allowed to file a lawsuit like that at this point. On top of that, this horrendous court decision will give protection to people such as Hassan Piker, Denims, Mike from PA, and Miskiff when they call Tectone an abuser, and when they repeatedly lie about the facts of the case.
There was also, and this is confirmed,
yeah, like, Emmy Roo, are you going through with that fucking lawsuit or not? Like, fucking kill Miskiff then, he's the abuser.
He had recordings of some of the sexual assaults, and his victim...
What the fuck? Like I said, it seems like there used to be consequences in the commentary fucking space for just calling people things they weren't. Like, it really is Hassan's crew that fucked all this up, and because they're fighting the Nazis, I guess, their language is approved. It's gross.
In sexually compromising positions, and was ordered...
This is not, the court case was she got called a sexual assault victim, not that she was sexually assaulted. According to the transcript we're seeing, so like, he's not this.
To delete all of them, or else he was going to prison that day. The judge said, if you don't delete them right now, I'm going to put you in prison myself.
This is yet another lie. This did not happen. All the judge said was to not share explicit content of Pink Shoe that was privately filmed. As for Tectone, on his return to live streaming after a long break, he stated that he wants to respect the court's decision and move on.
I lost the civil case. I did, but I do genuinely want to respect the court's decision. I believe, even though I lost the case, I do believe that this still gets me to where I want to go, which is for all parties to simply move on. That's pretty much all I want.
It really, I do gotta say, I don't like Tectone and his attitude, but this really does seem like he does not like this chick. He wants her the fuck out of his life. I think part of him's glad there's a protection order. It's the gun part that fucking sucks, but it's like, she will never be anywhere near him and can't do anything to him. If her goal was make him fucking jealous, do this or that, punish him for being with another woman, like, now you're never going to be with him again. And you look horrible to a whole bunch of haters. Congratulations.
Want is for everybody to go their separate ways, to be able to move on and find solace and peace in their life. Genuinely.
That's a very kind way to put it. I'd be a lot more mad. I mean, I was furious at the court's decision after doing the research, and this isn't even my life. But in times like this, I think we can look back on the words of wisdom from Keemstar about it being a stupid idea to date a chick who does OnlyFans. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What, is Tectone ever dissed fucking Ian? I'll give a like to this video. It's pretty well done. I'm very curious to see what comes up next. Keemstar, the person everybody says is scum and is morally evil and is fucking dirt beneath their boots. He doesn't date prostitutes. Alright, this is Tectone's downward spiral from RobsMedia. This is an anti-Tectone video. And then he gets into a fight with RobsMedia, I guess. And then there's a response to that. Well, that was a pro one. 612 Tectone fans did not like it. Let's see if we're missing something. This is very interesting. How many other streamers do two things from two different points of view? It's okay, though. You know, I think it's because Nick Diorio is like... his op is fucking just a robot. It's like, we can't root for the just a robot side now, can we? No. Yeah, RobsMedia seems like a cool dude. He does his research as well, so let's see whose research wins out. Him or Think Before You Sleep.
Imagine making 2 hours schizo post is pretty ignored. I mean, who cares? At the end of the day, like, you gotta understand, like, people are looking for any ways to make content. And the reality is, there are people who legitimately are too dumb to do their own research because that disproves what's interesting. It's interesting for people to think of me as like...
Yeah, that's been my thing. I disprove that the Republicans are Nazis and doing Gestapo shit because, hey, wouldn't that be terrifying and not cool? Like, all the people who died in World War II, that sounds disturbing and I'm afraid of something like that happening. So I'm like, hey guys, this thing you're saying is happening isn't happening actually. Like, isn't that a good thing? But no, you're evil because you're not thinking of such and such marginalized group. 10,000 kids die a day. Actually, it's more like 6,000. Someone @grokked me.
This super Epstein giga criminal. You know what I mean? It's not fun to just realize that I'm a guy who got fucked over by the system because I make stupid tweets and I say dumb shit on stream. Like, that's just not interesting, right? It doesn't help their narrative, but it is what it is.
Tectone is a former member of the streaming organization OTK, or One True King, known for his playthroughs of gacha games and other gambling games. But over the past 2 years, he's been embroiled in various different controversies, most serious of which being allegations of sexual assault and harassment, levied by his ex-partner Pink Chu in November 2024. Unlike most allegations posted online, Pink actually went...
I mean, honestly, Keemstar kind of is the internet messiah. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a woman. I get the fucking pass. I just can't believe people who are... I am such a victim of a sexual assault. Oh my god, this person was such the abuser. I'm gonna continue my career posting naked photos of myself for men to objectify, and I'm gonna do the fucking... It's e-prostitution where you have to, you know... be all prettied up because you're flirting with guys. That's what this is. I will call it e-prostitution whether I like the person or not, right? Like, that's what it is. How am I to believe you're a fucking victim of anything? It's histrionic disease, it's mental illness.
To the police and filed for a protective order, which was granted in January 2026 after a civil trial. I went over those court transcripts in a previous video, so I do highly recommend you watch that.
But DemonCringe, that's victim blaming. You saying someone who's a victim of sexual assault can never do what they want to do with their life? Well, I mean, if they're such a fucking victim, they gotta cry about it on the internet, maybe. How come no one goes to the police and does a criminal trial around these YouTube parts anymore? But DemonCringe, you can't... Cops don't believe women ever. They're fascist bootlickers. And it's so scary to get a rape kit done. But it's not scary at all to make a YouTube video and just say things without evidence. That's where a whole bunch of people who might not be a fan of you and think you're a dumb bitch might message you and harass you. That's great for victims. Oops, sorry. Also, Nux Taku's in this thumbnail. He's the enemy.
Order, which was granted in January 2026 after a civil trial. I went over those court transcripts in a previous video, so I do highly recommend you watch that, link down below. But to give a brief summary, Tectone would force Pink to give him blowjobs, and even admits to an incident where he did this knowing it would ruin her lip injections. What many leave out is that her plastic surgeon was a witness during the trial via a Zoom call, and while
See, this is what we're starting with. This is the assault, that she got forced to do a blowjob with lip filler, just like Lex Up Dog from the Super Mega case. I should watch my own stream after this. Why is it awful?
we don't know what he said specifically, he most likely confirmed her injuries as a result of the abuse. Plus, there's medical documents that exist which confirm this as well. Tectone also admitted to being an unmedicated schizophrenic, which didn't help his case in the slightest. His excuse for not treating it was
But now we know he isn't.
Because he didn't think his illness was as bad as a character from a movie. But coincidentally, now that the trial is over, it turns out he wasn't mentally ill the whole time. He just has vision problems because he got stabbed in the eye or something.
I went to a psychiatrist yesterday, and I'll try to provide some documentation of this at a later date whenever I receive it. Guys, I'm not schizophrenic. The psychiatrist believes the reason why I see things that aren't there, mainly, well, at night, is due to the fact that I got stabbed in my left eye, and my right eye
This does sound fucking stupid, though.
is normal. And so they believe that my eyeballs
I'm just sus. What the fuck is he doing on Kick?
are causing me to temporarily hallucinate things that aren't there because they're not signaling my brain properly. And what they believe that I have is anxiety with bad vision as well as unresolved childhood trauma.
And to be straight up with you, I just don't believe him. Why it took him 15 years to get this checked out again is beyond me. Especially when this guy was having hallucinogenic nightmares about seeing faces melt off, or
But now as RobsMedia has doubt, we gotta put the variable in there that he does seem happy with the result, that his restraining order against this woman, he never has to be around her again.
demons in the middle of the road.
Oh, by the way, John, I didn't tell you, I almost died the other day. I saw this demon in the middle of the road. And I thought it was my hallucinations is normal.
Maybe he's just
So I was gonna
making
drive
shit
through
up
it like
for
I
the
always do.
stream, though.
But it was like a deer. And so I just fucking slammed the brakes giga hard. I stopped like 3 inches away from it. But like, I thought.
Maybe it was a fucking... I just think this seems a bit dumb.
But I swear to God, I thought it was like the fucking... I thought it was like a straight up like a schizophrenic nightmare.
So yeah, it was a good thing that protective order was granted, since now he can't own firearms for the next 10 years. This guy is a minute away from hallucinating aliens at his local Walmart. And start going...
Guys, RobsMedia is the cool person in the commentary community, so it's been stated. We're allowed to bully schizophrenics. Yes, bring back the asylums. That's the side that Tectone's on, actually, so we know you're not a left-wing grifter, fucking RobsMedia. I agree. Lock up every single motherfucker with schizophrenia. There are too many families that have been murdered that just, you know what? I'm sorry, one schizophrenic is not worth a family of 5. It's not fucking equivalent exchange. Lock every single one of them the fuck up. I agree. This is a great fucking... This must be an alt-right fucking grifter streamer here.
Guns ablazing. Tectone now also must stay 200 yards away from Pink at all times, and isn't allowed to mention her publicly. Though as you'll soon find out, Tectone can't keep his damn mouth shut.
He doesn't want to be around her, though, it seems.
He did a comeback stream following his court loss and rambled on for hours on end, trying his best to not shit-talk his ex. He also tries downplaying the verdict by mentioning over and over again that this was a civil trial, and the burden of proof is lower than that of a criminal trial. That is true, but he acts like there's no burden of proof at all, and anyone in good faith who reads the court documents can understand that this motherfucker is guilty. But according to him, he's no rapist, he's just a vibe rapist. He only lost because he had bad optics.
A civil case isn't determined by proof, it's determined by vibes. And usually the way that court cases work.
Sorry, I just... Like I said, I'm not a Tectone fan. I just think, if we're comparing the two videos, Think Before You Sleep does present here, I got more fucking evidence and I'm just not insulting people to insult them. Like, he doesn't need to point out Democratic judge, all this shit. I don't know if the judge cares that much, but I don't know what the fuck's going on with the Denims lawsuit.
For like criminal cases, you need to have proof to prove that someone's guilty, but in a civil case, I needed proof to prove that I'm innocent, which was hard and I'm a bastard. So essentially, the court decided that I'm a vibe rapist. Yeah, and my vibes were fucking terrible.
Or maybe it was because you admitted to some of this shit, dude. You're on stream talking about how it's impossible to get head from a girl with lip fillers, as if you tried it.
So, lip fillers. They do make your lips look fuckable as shit. But the problem is, anybody who has lip fillers cannot suck dick worth a damn. It sucks. It sucks. Because if they...
But I gotta say, I'm sorry. Don't feel sorry. Puritan DemonCringe. I don't feel sorry for these guys that date these OnlyFans chicks and it turns out bad. I'm sorry, why are we making fun of Ian again? And then everybody else just fucking does it. It's like, they are prostitutes. They can be lovely people. They can have a lovely video game stream. But they give attention to the simps. They make themselves look up a certain way. They put on makeup to look attractive. They're doing it because they're fucking prostitutes. They're attention seekers. I can't believe this wasn't a pure and honest person. Oh my god.
Suck too hard, it'll fuck.
You know, crazy. There's been times in fucking Rome, in like Greece, where homosexuality and everything was acceptable. You know? It's just like society goes back and forth on what's cool. How's good prostitution's never really been fucking societally acceptable? Is it like a good thing that you're almost kind of programmed to get the heebie-jeebies by it? Or am I just a jealous bitch? Which one is it?
So unless they're able to deep throat your dick and just let you throat fuck them with their mouth open, it's just not worth it. It's really not. It's so lame. It's so fucking lame, bro. It's so fucking lame. So that's why I stopped giving a fuck about the fake lip look. It's just there's no point, man.
Despite how wretched his reputation is now, there's been an alarming amount of YouTubers and streamers.
Okay, I don't know what the deal with legal mindset is. Nux is purposely on a grift. Bro's just coming in judgmental and I don't know, not giving enough context. I swear to God, is anyone gonna get called an alt-righter? Because then Nick Diorio kind of had a problem with that happening. John Swan being labeled that. God fucking forbid by Deaf Noodles? Who gives a fuck about Deaf Noodles? Who the fuck even is he anymore?
Who've gone out of their way to sweep for this guy, including some creators I used to be friendly with, and I do want to cover all that. But first I want to give some updates that have come out since my OTK video, including a suspension from YouTube, the deletion of over 2,000 videos off his channel, and some possible violations of his protective order. But what I'm going to start with first is his response to my last video, if you can even call this a response. He's told by a chatter of his to—
Sorry, the woman— I am the woman, RobsMedia is not— I'm not allowing this bullshit where anybody fucking says— You guys, I think I'm poking a hole in this and here's some doubt on why I might not have done rape. You're implying a woman would ever lie. Cancelled, never listen to anything you say. No, fuck that. As long as these people make a lot of money. I'm sorry, as long as money's involved, there's always going to be a 10% variable that that bitch might be a gold digger and is making up attention in stories, and it should always be investigated because, you know, that's how the legal system works. Fuck the court of public opinion.
Watch my video, pulling up the infamous thumbnail, which gets him to chuckle.
Did you see Rob's media video on OTK? No, I don't know who Rob is. I bet it's a very great, positive, shining video. Rob's media, OTK.
Also, Nux Taku does watch videos negative on him on his stream, and he responds to the charges.
What the fuck? Idiot influencers, OTK, Diddy Blood Gang. That's crazy. 2 hours? Oh my God. Jesus. You went over my dad? Was my dad a part of OTK? Holy shit. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, who cares? Hey, it's...
Well, you know, is this gonna be an own RobsMedia? Because you know all these people talking Asmongold algorithm language. They need Yeet clips, and they need Fox News clips. They can't handle... They're the Zoomer adjacent their brains. They got the ADHD. They are not gonna fucking watch that.
Sure is a good story. It is. That's a long video. I probably would have reacted to that too if it was more bite-sized. 2 hours is crazy work though.
Now there's a lot to break down here, but I find it absolutely hilarious.
You know what, RobsMedia? I'm on your side. Fuck you, Tectone. That is no different than, oh my God, you wrote 2 paragraphs. I can't, okay, then I guess you're not a good streamer. You can't make something entertaining. You can't possibly fucking put up Genshin Impact on the side and play that while watching the RobsMedia thing. I can do that. What is this fucking room and what are you doing with it?
that he's using the Hassan Piker tactic of avoiding criticism by pretending to not know who I am, which could have worked if he wasn't actively subscribed to my channel. It's very cute how this guy wants to act like I'm some literal nobody, as if he previously didn't go out of his way to follow me on Twitter and DM me about how great my videos are. He was fine with my 2-hour-long videos when they were about his mortal enemies, even watching them on stream and recommending it to his viewers.
This is a great video. I'm glad we're watching this. This is a great...
Okay, yeah, this is the fucking parts of Tectone I don't like. It's almost kind of Alex Jonesying Donald Trumpish, where it's like, the person they are on stream is just the performer, and then when he's messaging people behind the scenes, he's, you know, it's business. That type of shit. It is Hassan coded. Doesn't mean it has to be evil, that's just how their brains are.
Great video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to RobsMedia. Link down below. I'm sure there's a YouTube video. This is awesome.
Tectone used to think I was on his side simply because back when Pinkchu first made her allegations, I gave the basic take of, we should wait for evidence to come out before we make any strong judgments about either side. And now that evidence has come out in Pink's favor, I'm willing to call out Tectone for the evil piece of shit that he is, which is why he blocked me on Twitter. Metaphorically, sucking my cock isn't beneficial to him anymore, though I hope he remains subscribed to my channel so he can see this thumbnail in his sub feed today, if he even still checks that. As recently, Tectone—
Wait, oh, the fuck? Hold on. Okay, I don't know what the Chibi Reviews drama is. I think they all hate Legal Mindset because he said go move east because it's better there and more lawful there. And then, what are we doing here? What is this? This is not okay. This is racist. Fucking disgusting. It's like, I really want to know what Nux gets more shit for. Being a VTuber or being a Jew? He needs to put the poll out to his haters. I need to know for science, quite frankly.
Subfeed today, if he even still checks that. As recently, Tectone has moved off of YouTube due to a community guideline strike. He was pretty vague with the details at first, simply claiming he got a 1-week ban for excessive swearing.
What, is that true? You can, that's weird. And like, for him to have gone, because the videos I was watching from Tectone was him going the fuck off on Twitch, making it seem like he had a Hunter Biden laptop worth of evidence to turn in or some shit, and then nothing happened. You telling me after all that, YouTube was just as bad? Seems like you were less banned on Twitch.
Later, he clarified it was for a joke he made about Hassan, quipping, "Hassan jerks off to the thought of Asmongold responding to him." Clearly a jab at how these two have a symbiotic relationship with each other, though I swear this guy has made way too many jokes that boil down to his gay sexual fantasies. Though despite how unfunny it is, it shouldn't be something that raises YouTube's eyebrows, but according to Techie, this got him a strike, which many doubted as he's incredibly untrustworthy. He also didn't show any evidence besides one cropped screenshot. If he was lying, it's clearly a way to garner sympathy, which he would continue to do in a response video titled, "YouTube is terminating my channel." He does briefly mention what potentially got him banned, but he spends a good chunk of this video bitching and whining about Hassan, even claiming that the guy placed a copyright strike on his channel.
What's going on right now is there is a parade of content creators who are currently abusing the copyright strike channel feature on YouTube. Number 1, Hassan Piker. Number 2, and I shit you not, this just happened today, Baby No Money. Baby No Money has copyright struck
Well, now I believe that, because that guy's a petty bitch.
WestJet, and Hassan copyright struck my channel, as well as Ariana Grande.
This is an incredibly dubious claim that many instantly doubted. You'd think—
So I'm not just being a hater because watching Think Before You Sleep poisons the well, but Think Before You Sleep seemed to actually present evidence better. Is that wrong to call at this point? Why, this just seems like a catty, this guy sucks. Here's a clip of him contradicting himself. You know, it is like the average Hassan fucking gotcha.
Tectone to be giddy of excitement over exposing Hassan for something this serious. It's something many like myself could believe, as Hassan has a history of threatening copyright claims against people, including his own clip channels when they shit-talk him. But just because you hate Hassan doesn't mean you should automatically believe the drivel coming out of Rapetone's mouth. Almost a month later, he would finally—
Like, see? Where is the evidence that Tectone forced himself on this woman, raped her? Like I said, how traumatized is she? She's still on OnlyFans. I'm sorry. If I got raped, I'm not gonna be a fucking e-prostitute. I'm just not. Everybody on the left, mental health fucking awareness. Well, then fucking go give this money to this bitch to go visit a fucking psychologist instead of an OnlyFan tier. How about that, Morgpie? Why don't you give your fucking friends some psycho help since everyone around you's getting raped by Super Mega all fucking day long? But I guess you're not a good liberal either, Morgpie. I'm sorry, I'm just not gonna fucking buy it that these women that need to go show their hole in fucking tits on the internet all day are being, like, molested everywhere. Okay, here we got a comment in this chat. Watch the Nicholas Diorio vid on ya. Couldn't continue after he said he'd take Hassan's word over yours 10 out of 10 times. Yeah, I couldn't with Nick Diorio the other day because he said something about Ireland and everyone corrected him and said Northern Ireland, and he's like, yeah, what's the other Ireland? Why are you all saying Northern Ireland? Like, this fuck didn't know that there's a thing that goes on there with 2 different Irelands, you know? So, like, why is he fucking commenting on things like this? Why is he acting? So, like, can we take his word when he's like, oh, a liberal judge would never allow this shit to happen. Tectone must be a rapist. Like, you don't even know the situation in fucking Ireland, the Catholics versus the Protestant shit.
Show the claims on the video, showing nothing related to copyrights.
Well, this is bullshit. I wanted to show you guys the strike that I had.
Personally, like I said, I like some of Nick Diorio's content. I think he hates Nux Taku for some fucking reason. He's made some logical arguments in how Nux will do the same thing Hassan does to him, and the 2 rights don't make a wrong. You know, basic shit like that. But I think something went down in that fucking art commentary community years ago, because that's where Turkey Tom and Nux Taku both are from. And then I think there's just Turkey Tom and Nick are friends. I just think there's something with Nux Taku going from anime reviewer and stepping into the commentary space that has pissed somebody the fuck off. That's always the vibe I get with that, but I don't know. That's just my personal theory.
My channel. This is the strike that I got by saying that Hassan's a gay. People say this is fake, by the way. I don't know why. But yeah, they say this is fake. The strike that I got in the Hassan video. And then I got another one for harassment and cyberbullying on an Ariana Grande video. Oh, I already did the training completed.
X Bounty, I don't think you were here for this, but Think Before You Sleep says, you know who has a great video on mental health facilities and how you should seek help? Illymation. This is a great video from her. Dude, I think we found out who Illymation's biggest fan was all along.
Oh, that wasn't me. My editor did that for me.
Either he flat out lied here, or he somehow mixed up the terms copyright strike and community guidelines strike. Either way, Hassan is innocent in this situation, and Tectone will never own up to it, despite his lack of evidence. What he does have is a Rumble deal, as he was welcomed onto that platform with open arms. Not surprised, as this was the same site that signed on Dr. Disrespect, months after he admitted to flirting with a minor. Platforming predators is just in their DNA, it seems. In Tectone's case, he claims the platform is a safe haven for free speech, thinking they won't ban him over edgy jokes like YouTube and Twitch have.
Obviously, I would like to multi-stream, but because I'm going on to a completely new platform...
Oh, or is he saying because Disrespect's on Rumble? Fuck Rumble, it doesn't work. How are people gonna watch it anyway?
And I'm starting from ground zero. I shit you not, guys. I'm starting from the beginning. 0 viewers. I have 0 followers, 0 viewers on this platform. I am going to be rebuilding everything from the ground up because I actually believe that Rumble is a platform where I will actually be safe on and not get banned for some bullshit again. It sucks that I have to worry about the sanctity and the longevity of my channels, but that's just what happens when you are a guy who tells it how it is.
Or maybe he jumped ship because he's been losing viewers on YouTube ever since Pink's allegations came out. He even admitted to this in court. The reason he started grifting as a right-wing influencer was to leverage...
I don't know why this came up in court, so if I can explain on that, when all these things came out, I lost pretty much a large chunk of my audience. Now, he could be saying to prove that he's the victim of all this. Look, because of accusations, he lost a large chunk of audience that could be him showing fucking damages in the court. And content creators kind of have to pivot what they're doing to other topics once they lose access to a demographic. Yeah, this is another point against Tectone, though. I don't like this, because like I said, at least Nux will be like, I'm grifting for whatever side wins. This is just disingenuous. This just means you're a puppet master. You're a fucking little ringmaster. You're not authentic. I don't like the not authentic people. So originally, I never really covered anything political or talking about, you know, white privilege. But yeah, I would say my content definitely had to find a new route on how to be successful online. And so unfortunately, I had to make a little bit more extreme comments to be successful in a career that I am now. Well, he isn't saying he floated to the right, he's saying he got political. Well, that's as recent as October 2025 that you were making statements, and it's because she accused him of being racist and shit. That's why he's getting questioned on it, isn't it? Like, this is because of her. They said we've seen more fucking transcripts on the Think Before You Sleep video. You were making statements with regards to white supremacy and people being racist against white people, is that correct? Just to make sure, are you saying that I'm a white supremacist? Well, then why isn't he going out hitting black people with a boot? Tectone is more leftist than we are. He must have. He hung out with fucking Mizkif back in the day, didn't he? I'm asking you about your post was regarding...
audience and keep his channel afloat. It's not working out for him super...
Sorry, RobsMedia is being disingenuous, I think, legally.
well, so he wants to move over what's left of his audience somewhere else. Complaining about his ban from YouTube is his justification. Only a week after this, Tectone began deleting thousands of...
And I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck about Nicandros. He's a fucking Hassan Piker dick rider. He uses fucking AI voice. He hangs out with J-Stock and fucking Queeman, who just want to fucking be mid-goddamn channels and do absolutely nothing of value for anyone. Fucking Cam Nuggets can't wash his goddamn hair before making an exposed video either. This is just a fucking terminally online group of fucking losers that don't want to get a fucking job. Like, I hate this fucking bear. I hate these fucking furries. I'm over it.
Videos, which was pointed out by Nick Andros on Twitter. It turns out most of these were old videos of him where he plays weird degenerate anime games, and also all of his YouTube...
Why can't Nicandros fucking cancel PewDiePie for the stupid fucking reaction to hentai fucking child porn things back then? I'm sorry. Nux has the appropriate response to this. I haven't seen it beat in a court of law. Everybody was doing it back then. Why is he the only one in trouble for this fucking anime degen shit? People were getting monetized videos off that.
YouTube live streams. Most notable of these was his return stream, which Nick Andros luckily archived for me. It's up on my archive channel if you want to see it.
Yeah, because no one else would have fucking done that.
This behavior from Tectone is incredibly suspicious, though he claims it was simply a way of saving his channel from being buried in the algorithm.
I deleted 1,800 YouTube videos the other day because I thought it was killing my recommended, and I thought it was killing like my search suggestions. And guess what? I was fucking right, because I deleted 1,800 videos 3 days ago, and now...
This is a fucking chunk that he loses because of a fucking bitch running her mouth, but, like, he really didn't seem mad about losing that court case, though, I will say. So, like, maybe people should just let him move the fuck on.
My average viewer...
Honestly, I'm on Tectone's side. RobsMedia is just being catty and not providing the evidence and shit that fucking Think Before You Sleep did. I think Team Diorio, Team Anti-Austin, Texas might be wrong.
Has fucking shot up tremendously.
Also in his recent video.
But the stuff against Nux Taku was always disingenuous too. They really wanted us to mark him as a pedophile because some minor, a 16-year-old, in a fucking Discord that was paywalled, so you would need a job and a credit card to fucking join it. God forbid you assume someone's an adult there. I'm sorry, that argument makes sense. It's fucking stupid to think otherwise. Some other guy in the chat groomed him with gore, and he dropped out of school. So we should kill Nux Taku, that evil VTuber Jew today. Like, these are actual... Like, it does seem like a fucking conspiracy. I'm sorry.
Tectone briefly alludes to Pink and her victory in the civil case, clearly still butthurt about it.
We currently live in a world where feelings outweigh the law.
Yeah, the mods and fucking Nux's Discord server that don't let you talk about politics. The true villains.
Where feelings are taken into account more than proven evidence. And if you cry and you say that your feelings hurt, you will win in every situation you are ever a part of, especially if you're a woman, side note.
And is he about to cry? Come on, Tectone, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You're a 32-year-old man.
Okay, RobsMedia. I don't want to see Kyle Kalinske on my fucking shit ever. He's a Nazi. There, I'm pulling it now too. Everyone I don't like is fucking Hitler, but he's got the fucking Clout last name, the blonde hair, blue eyes, and the hatred of Jews to prove it, quite frankly. You're gonna fucking, oh, we all gotta call Tectone a white supremacist, but you're gonna put Kyle fucking Kalinske of Secular Talk. Yeah, because, you know, the fucking great atheist representation that just gives a fuck about Israel so much. Lovely. Sorry, I fucking hate Kyle Kalinske. I just got fucking... He triggered me, this RobsMedia.
And it's time to move on, buddy. But the problem here, and the reason why I'm still covering Tectone, is because...
Now, this is gonna be crazy. Is RobsMedia and Gamer from Mars the same person, though? I think Gamer from Mars might have a video on Tectone that's more neutral. Or maybe check out a Turkey Tom video, I don't know, but this is interesting. Just seeing two videos from two different points of view back to back. See how eye-opening it can be, guys, on how we can just switch narratives? What would we have thought if we watched Tectone's downward spiral first? Did Think Before You Sleep poison RobsMedia as well? I don't think so, because I think Before You Sleep just is presenting everything better.
He just can't shut the fuck up about Pink Chew. I swear, every chance he gets, he'll go on these insane monologues about how Pink is a liar now he got fucked over. Basically saying anything he can to smear her, while not mentioning her directly so he gets plausible deniability.
I've been fucked over too many times by very evil women, and unfortunately I am just incredibly fucked up due to the experiences that I've had to endure in my life. Nothing against you, but my life has been fucked over.
See, though, I will victim blame Tectone all day again, though. Like, I don't ever date. He better not date no fucking internet whore again, then. Honestly, just don't date anybody. Fuck it.
By women who lie all the time, and I can't sort through them anymore because I've been fucked over so many fucking times.
But he'll get away with this because his retarded fans will bend over backwards and give shitty excuses for why he can badmouth.
Where's Fuyan? He's a Tectone fan, ain't he? He just got called retarded by this channel.
Her. But the most egregious example of this behavior came from a recent video by David Alberizi, who does these sort of Jubilee or cut-style dating shows. You couldn't force me to click on one of these videos, even if I was being tortured. But it's vital to show you a clip from this video because the context is extremely important. Pink is on an episode trying to find a new boyfriend, as the last one was a schizo freak who only used her as a blowjob machine. She gets asked about their relationship, and starts mocking Tectone for being a hentai-addicted porn freak.
I'm sorry? She was used as a blowjob rape machine? Then why is she on the show and not cutting herself in the fucking shower? I'm sorry. That's the leftist and the liberal Twitter Tumblerinas told me that no woman would ever lie about such things because it's the most traumatic, terrible thing ever. Why is she on the show having fun? She's traumatized, isn't she? That one guy saw gore in Nux Taku's Discord server, and he was traumatized and dropped out of motherfucking school. And you're telling me this whore can just go be a fucking goth chick again the next fucking day, and it's all cool after the assault that she was always fucking put through? Actual women get fucking stalked and fucking raped. I am so sick of these stupid fucking MySpace suicide girls attention seeking, and then oh my god, things didn't go my way when I made my whole life around fucking attention seeking. I hate it, god.
What kind of shit he's gonna have to handle?
A little possessive, a little... I like sex. I haven't had sex in so long.
Did...
Hold on. You see, the reason she needs sex is because she's so fucking traumatized. She got raped, and it turned her into a fucking sex addict. It's the only way to cure the dysphoria, because that's what mentally healthy people do. She obviously has to be mentally healthy to be starring in these things where she is a public figure.
You know,
I'm sorry, I just don't give a fuck. There's fucking people dying in war-torn fucking countries. Lebanon's a fucking mess. I don't give a fuck about white women in America. Get hit by a fucking car.
The last guy not having sex with you or what?
Well, he was only attracted to anime women, so... But it looked pretty anime. Kawaii desu? Something like that, you know?
What do you mean he was only attracted to anime women? Was he like addicted to...
Hi.
So he was addicted to hentai? So he was addicted so much he didn't want to have sex with the real thing?
Bro, please let this not be a real show. Do not touch her. Don't be like... When women do this, like... Even if you're a fucking soy boy, leftist, believe everything you heard, like... Stay the fuck away from these women. Don't date them. Don't give them attention. Don't hang out with them, because they're just gonna cancel you.
Something along those lines.
If you suffer from this, call 1-800... Yikes.
RobsMedia, I know you're a leftist man, so you would have to mansplain this to me, but a woman, but... I'm sorry, that's not a victim. That's a whore. That's a fucking e-whore. That's a fucking my parents didn't hug me and I need attention and my whole life revolves around attention and look at me, I have tits and I'm goth, haha.
Bless you!
Okay, alright, and Bella, what kind of guy are we looking for Pink?
A guy with hair, number one.
What's this whole, like, you know, bald guys thing?
Bald guys are fine, but her ex was bald, so she needs a change of pace.
Now, Tectone could have ignored this, but only 2 days later, he went to Twitter to write, "Y'all ever heard of a sexual assault victim complain they weren't getting enough sex?" He very...
Like... I'm sorry, like, shouldn't she not be allowed on this show? Fellow liberals? Victims have to be victims forever, otherwise it shows that they can heal and shit, and you can't have that because people might fix their problems instead of cry all day. God fucking forbid, so like... Tectone could have worded this better, he'd just be like, oh my god, I cannot believe she's on this show, she's such a fucking victim. she was abused every day and now she's having fun here. Like, I'm sorry, how are you gonna spin this against him?
Quickly deleted this tweet when it was pointed out that this broke his protective order, as he's so obviously referring to Pink here. It's also just a really disingenuous tweet in general, as he assumes all sexual assault victims never want to have sex again, which is just not true. Also, Tectone, you admit yourself you never had penetrative sex with her.
So, how is he a rapist then? A fucking rapist that needs to go to prison and get raped. That's what you're saying, RobsMedia. He fucking rapes her in the mouth every fucking day.
Luckily, this tweet was archived, so we can't even deny writing this.
Why? What is what he's saying here wrong? Am I retarded? What is what he's saying here fucking wrong? I'm sorry, this is the left bullshit that I fucking hate. That they have fucking permeated and psychologically damaged people to the fact where you are not allowed to question anybody with any fucking problem ever. Honestly, she should go rob a fucking bank. She's a sexual assault victim. She's allowed to. But you can't call her a sexual assault victim. You'll get sued for that.
It's clear he did this out of irrational anger, being peeved that his ego was bruised, to the point where he's willing to go to jail over this. It's too early to see if that'll ever happen.
I'm sorry, I would be asking if she's a fucking victim, if she's a rape victim. Why is she on a fucking Jubilee whore show with her tits out talking about sex that she don't get? She literally did that. Oh, what was wrong with your last relationship? I didn't have sex enough. I'm like, what? Why is he not allowed to question that? RobsMedia, explain yourself. I don't understand.
But I await the eventual mugshot and subsequent horror story when Tectone meets his new cellmate, all because his manliness status was put at risk, even though this is...
Okay, now this has never made sense to me, actually. Because when you can't tell rape jokes, that's not cool. Like, because no woman would ever lie about her assault, and it's not fucking funny. It's the most traumatic thing ever, actually. So rape jokes are never cool. Remember, now, she's allowed to sue someone for sexual assault or whatever, and then be on an e-whore show the next day, but don't fucking ever tell a joke in stand-up comedy about rape. But it's always been perfectly fucking acceptable to make jokes about men going to prison to get raped. I've always found that quite interesting. This thing that we're not supposed to do is okay. I fucking hate humans.
Tectone we're talking about here, the guy who has a crippling fear of female genitalia, to the point where he physically recoils every time he walks into a Spencer's and sees a pocket pussy. The YouTuber and streamer Mythical would call him out for this behavior, and instead of actually engaging with what he's saying, Tectone hit him with the irrelevant. He hasn't responded to this since, probably because his 5 lawyers.
I have a team of 5 lawyers.
Think before you sleep said it was 1.
Told him to shut his fucking mouth. Because he'll get absolutely dogpiled on for breaking his protective order, Tectone has...
This video is not winning me over. Let me see. Respect for calling it how you see it, even people you were friendly with. Well, yeah, fuck white people. Stab them in the streets.
Has enlisted the help of various friends of his, most of whom fall into the Asmongold orbiter complex. Basically, just any content creator who dick sucks the hell out of Asmongold and whatever insane political drivel comes out of his mouth. Asmon himself has declined to comment on the court proceedings, giving some bullshit excuse relating to the defamation lawsuit he's facing in Mizkif.
I'll wait for Tectone to talk about all this stuff. Like, people said that, like, he lost some court case. I have no idea. I think he did, by the way. I'm pretty sure he did lose the court case. I just don't know what that means or anything else.
How's come everybody clips Asmongold saying I haven't done enough research about this, so I don't want to talk about this legal issue I haven't done research on? And it's like, here's Asmongold. He doesn't want to talk about something when it isn't a video with evidence he can react to. He must be hiding something. This user loves rape.
So I'm kind of waiting for him to say it. It seemed like, you know, again, like the information where it came from isn't really something I'd want to comment on. I guess I could just say, I mean, I might as well just say, like, Mizkif is very obviously suing me for defamation. And because of that, I don't want to comment on anything that's coming out of, you know, any information that...
I mean, Mizkif is there doing something with his fake fucking court reporter shit, so, like... I wouldn't either. I think this is the smart move on Asmongold's fault.
That's surrounding him, because it could complicate the lawsuit. So I'm not going to comment on, or I'm not going to say anything about it at all.
This to me is a really flimsy excuse, as it's incredibly easy to not mention Mizkif's role in the drama and still cover it. In fact, I've gone this whole video without mentioning him just to prove this point. Asmongold is just a coward who doesn't want to burn any bridges and cause controversy within...
Guys, Asmongold wrote the other day, in response, well, like a week ago now, in response to the McJuggernuggets public abortion, public eugenics, and wrote, "Eugenics W. Good on you for killing that kid." In a fucking thread that the Senator Mike Johnson was involved in, because it was an abortion, and he was out here, Eugenics W. So, you know, and all the fucking heat he takes dealing with Hassan's audience. Guys, I don't think coward is the word I would use to describe him. You can hate him, you can dislike him, you can think he needs to brush his teeth, but like, what?
His own community, and I do think he should speak out about it, as only half a year prior, he claimed that he knows more about this situation than most do.
So as somebody who knows more about this than the public, I think that when he comes back, all of this is going to make a lot more sense. I'll certainly say that. So don't worry about it, guys. Tectone will be back. It's not going to be a big deal. Everything's totally fine.
But now he won't speak out on it, because any take he gives is going to upset a good amount of people, and Tectone realizes this, as he's recently said that he preferred it this way.
I don't really think that my existence is too good for Asmongold, to be completely honest. He's gotten way too much shit because people use me as a weakness for him, so I'd rather just do my own thing. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, Asmongold's kind of in a position to where everybody wants to obliterate his public perception.
I would drive Horace the hate bug, and then what?
And they'll use anybody they possibly can. So the reality is, if I ever were to do something with Asmongold, it's not going to be in the public eye. And I'm totally cool with that.
But who needs Asmongold when you have such great people already putting their lives on the...
So like, they're all gonna gang up and beat the shit out of this black guy later, right? They're all gonna get his address and like fucking curb stomp him, right? Because they're all such foaming at the mouth racists. Especially this one over here, right? Like, you called them white supremacists and racist. I'm sorry, like, I've been around real white supremacists. Guys, I don't think any of you know what the fuck that is.
A line for a mentally ill...
The ones I know wouldn't even associate, be near. Yeah, Nux is a Jew? You mean a fucking Zionist that loves genocide?
Predator. Only individuals with strong and hardened reputations would ever defend Tectone. Hi, Jew here.
He is the greatest Israeli soldier the world has ever known.
And
he has a family member that got killed on October 7th, and he is Jewish. So, like, on the left, let me remind you once more, you are not allowed to question any other cultures ever. You need to respect them. Don't put homeless people or schizophrenics in an asylum, actually, RobsMedia, even though that's what you want, because they need to be in their natural fucking environment. Don't, you know? But, like, actually practicing your religion and having morals and ethics from a religion in fucking America or Canada, are you fucking kidding me? That's cringe. Like, religion is for the brown people in the brown people countries, Nux. What the fuck is this grift where you're spouting off fucking Jewish things with your belief in Israel? God damn!
Showing kids animated porn in his YouTube videos. This is Nux Taku, a guy who reacts—
And so did PewDiePie, RobsMedia. Are you gonna bring that up? How's come when Nux defends himself and brings up good points against the criticism, they just get ignored?
To cartoons all day. And at night, he manages a Discord server where minors are getting groomed by friends of his, or used to manage, as he recently—
This was a fucking Romanian. I don't give a fuck. If this, where is the parents at? And I'm sorry. Nick DiOrio and people who have a problem with that argument, though. Where is the fucking parents at? Why are they not responsible for weirdos being in a Discord chat where their child shouldn't be? Because it's paywalled. I'm sorry that you guys, your parents didn't give a fuck about you. Like, I am honestly sorry. No, actually it's bullshit. No, they're the kids that have the fucking stupid safety locks on everything. So they don't know what it's like to actually be exposed to bad things on the internet. They weren't lemon partied. They're little pussies. Like, I swear to God. They want the internet to bow down to their sensibilities instead of just fucking avoiding trouble.
He deleted the server after the YouTuber Nick Andros published a video exposing him for this.
This is just misinformation. They're just summarizing everyone's videos. Nick Andros is a fucking Hassan dick rider. He is obsessed with Hassan, as is J-Stock. This is what's crazy. Nux Taku in Destiny have the exact same fucking ops. Ain't that crazy? It's almost like because they can't beat these two arguments, Destiny savagely defeats these retards, I guess, on a daily. So it's kind of like how Charlie Kirk was like, prove me wrong, and then they shot him instead. Like, that's what these fucking exposed video crybabies like Cam Nuggets are up to.
And for making an NSFW server for one of these kids. Nux and many of his Gooner allies.
They didn't make him a server for one of the kids. And Nux does not give a fuck. That was 8 fucking years ago. Please cancel PewDiePie today.
Don't have any good defenses for this. But Tectone tried his best to sweep for his long...
I did! What do you mean no one did? I fucking did a whole stream. It's stupid. It's 8 years ago. No one in the commentary community would cancel a single other fucking person for this shit. God damn.
Time pal.
Looked like Nux Taku completely obliterated all of the allegations that were thrown his way in a matter of 5 minutes. So that was always really fun. I mean, the amount of
Royalties here made a video on Nux Taku and was fair and basically said, you know, no different than any other fucking bitch on the internet.
people were like, you need to denounce Nux. You need to denounce Nux. I'm good.
I think the Mutahar shit, Mutahar is a fake fucking friend, and Nux, I don't want Nux to ever talk to that Indian guy again. Because that was, and then basically, actually, the more and more I think about this, Chud Logic is like a bad actor and everything, but Nick and Just a Robot is like retarded, but Nick Diorio, it really is, he just doesn't like this group. He will, doesn't matter if he doesn't like Hassan, he will jump on the Nicandros fucking disinformation campaign to do whatever. Fucking jealousy. They're jealous of a fucking VTuber as a free V shoujo fucking V thing. What is the current stance on Nux Taku? He's just a fucking entertainer on YouTube who does no fucking bad to people in real life. And he cares about Israel because he's Jewish. That's it.
I love Nux. Straight up. I don't care.
And Nux would defend him in turn, going as far as to call Pink a disgusting whore.
Tectone!
I just did, and I'm a woman, and I'm not a Jewish VTuber. She is. I'm a rape victim. Here I am showing my tits and my appearance and crying about how I didn't have sex. It's a whore. It's an e-whore, RobsMedia. You can say it. She's a fucking whore.
Tectone! Tectone, don't let your schmeat control your life! Rule number one! Rule number one, don't get controlled by your schmeat. A real man controls his schmeat does not control him. Bro! Look, I'm not gonna sit here and make believe that this is like, look, I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here and make believe that, that Tectone, you dated a whore, it didn't work out. Literally no one is surprised.
First of all, Nux.
Well, I'm curious, okay, so Nux is the problem. Where's the think before you sleep video? I wonder if that'll be referenced.
You were the last person that should be talking about self-control. This guy put the stuff in his porn folder all over his YouTube.
This guy is married to a woman and they probably have a kid together, and he's never been around any children or have done any of this shit. And once again, he has countered this when he watches his own fucking cancel videos on stream. PewDiePie was doing this shit. Markiplier was doing this shit. When he plays, fucking did a podcast with a pedophile Shadman, but for some fucking reason, everyone else with a Shadman connection canceled, but never the people who fucking were friends with him and hung out with him. Like, I'm all for fucking putting scarlet letters on people, but there is no rules for thee and not for me. Ah.
Bro!
Validation, vanity, forget it.
Oh, not my fucking video. What are we doing?
And Nux would defend him in turn.
Yeah, Nux is the worst. Okay, what's wrong? Okay, we're just gonna basically get the best hits. This is number one because everyone hates Nux. We got Legal Mindset. Who is the Sweepers? Yeah, I don't care about Legal Mindset. I don't know enough. We'll just skip.
In the Asmongold orbits, listen to this guy like he's the gospel, and many of the Daily Shitter commentary channels will leech off of it for their own coverage. One of those being WestJet, who at the beginning of his video claims he won't be too biased towards Tectone, despite
I feel like I need to go back to the Crimes New Roman video, because at least Crimes New Roman attacked everybody.
The guy.
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and conceal my bias. I want Tectone to be innocent. I like the guy. I don't want him to be a but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and carry water for Tectone and a girl with information I don't have, calling her a liar and stuff like that.
And then he proceeds to believe every single word coming from Rapetone's mouth.
This is all true, though, and you haven't given us anything, RobsMedia, that shows to the contrary. Sorry, she's not a rape victim. That is not what this is a civil trial. If she's a rape victim, why are we not doing a criminal fucking trial? He's not involved in criminal proceedings. I'm sorry, I can't believe, once again, just the fucking framing of things tricks you and the people you fucking watch.
And
Jesus Christ. This guy is just repeating fucking Nick DiOrio fucking points, and then Nick DiOrio watches his video. He'll talk shit about Taylor Lorenz, but then they'll turn around and do the same tactics. Sorry, think before you sleep is just getting the W. I don't think he implies this kind of tactics. Turkey Tom is Nick DiOrio's best online friend, and fucking Think Before You Sleep shouts out Turkey Tom's super mega video, keeping that in mind, and proves how bullshit his fucking fake allegations were, and how it's no different. His video was fairer. Sorry, it's true.
Set streams while not pushing back on anything he's saying.
You have a person that does not think that knows everything was consensual, but then they have a friend, perhaps a very activist friend, who convinces them that they were SA'd because they weren't, because of their perspective and their prerogative on this, right?
Now, a lot of this is conflicting testimony and interpretation, where most of it sort of lands on the judge. Again, not a proven criminal finding.
Yeah, just ignore all the evidence. Fuck that noise. Let's just use this as an excuse to
What evidence? You haven't given us any, RobsMedia. Why aren't you showing the transcript that shows her talking about her brutal rape? You're calling Tectone in this video that you put out a rapist. Indeed, you are blurring that. You've called him a rapist. So you have to show the fucking transcripts that you have that everyone's misrepresenting his 5 lawyers. Hope you didn't get it from Ms. Kiff. You're not bringing him up. Show the part of the transcript where she's talking about her brutal mouth rape. You won't, because it doesn't fucking exist, correct?
shit on Mizkif. That guy sucks, right? That's also the best way to sum up the coverage by Morgpie, who had a bit of back and forth.
Hey, I'm gonna say it. These people are fucking racist and they hate the Singaporean making fucking money. I'm sorry. I've never seen... What is Morgpie hurting? Who in the fuck is he hurting? Who is he stealing money from with the videos he puts out daily on how retarded all these fucks are? Who is he hurting? They hate him.
Between him and Miz. I'm not really going to cover that drama here, as it's just 2 retards fighting, but if you're more focused on going after Mizkif in this drama and think he's worse than Tectone, hop in a short bus and unsub from my channel. I fucking hate Mizkif.
I'm not subbing to RobsMedia, he's disingenuous.
But Tectone has proven himself to be way more of a danger to women. I think Mizkif limits himself.
How? What'd he do? In fact, he looks like he's gonna stay the fuck away from women.
To throwing phones at Asian women. And it's clear Pegasus is doing this because he's good friends with Tectone, even getting DMs from the guy about how to cover this controversy.
According to him, there was no evidence and that he was found guilty based on...
He just said according to him. He didn't say I heard or I saw on Twitter. According to him, giving that is what you would do if you're a journalist and you're writing a fucking news article, right? Well, let's say you interview Jimmy. Jimmy, what do you think about the demolition of this building? Oh, the demolition of this building didn't take fast enough. The construction workers are fucking garbage. It would say, not according to the journalist. The journalist wasn't there when the building came down, right? According to Jimmy. And then you read that in the newspaper and you're like, okay, that's Jimmy's perspective. We don't know if that actually happened. I swear to God, nobody, all these people making media, RobsMedia, go run your ass back to language arts class and learn what context is, bitch. I am so fucking tired of these Zoomers not knowing how to fucking read or lay out a fucking essay. Fuck all that, kill all teachers. I'm so fucking tired. Someone failed these people.
Vibes. I don't really know how true that is, but he messaged me about this as well, and he basically said that the judge...
I am literally explaining fucking quotation marks. Jesus Christ.
All of his tweets and his Twitch streams, and they thought that he was a deranged lunatic because he was ranting about OnlyFans girls and I guess making crude comments towards...
Hey, RobsMedia, how are you gonna respond to the charges of if Tectone is a rapist, as you called him? How is he doing that while being on stream for 12 hours and fighting with people on fucking Twitter for another 4? Same argument I have for Destiny. When does he have the time to do the crimes you accuse him of? Ugh. I'm sorry, I hate ignorance. I took journalism in fucking high school. Motherfuckers! And everyone wants to hate on Nick Shirley and people like that. It's because you're all fucking jealous you could never do that. Like, actually go on the streets and ask questions. None of these commentary videos are fucking journalism because none of these people are asking their own questions. He's just repeating shit Nick DiOrio fucking says, and vice versa. Like I said, because they're fucking jealous of this guy. Jealous of Nux for coming in with his anime audience and having 1 million subs while they don't. Jealous at Think Before You Sleep because he reads fucking books and makes connections to things and looks things up. It's becoming very fucking obvious. I'm saying Team fucking Austin's winning here.
Women, and he's basically saying that that's why he lost the case here.
Sensitive Society is in the same boat. He's friends with the guy and makes this clear within his video.
And of course, it's no secret that I like Tectone. I've talked to him. He's been nuts.
Sensitive Society is never wrong in his base tweets. His whole name says everybody's a crybaby bitch, actually, so that's why people don't like him. His name is a slur to them.
But kind to me. A few months ago, he invited me onto his podcast.
These people are saying that because they're also making, once again, context, RobsMedia. They are putting this in here as context to let you know, take their word with the grain of salt because they are biased. They're letting us know. No one's deceiving us. How the fuck are they sweeping? They're being honest. But Chud Logic, for example, when he's like, Nick DiOrio, the sweep is on, oh my god, that was stupid because Nick DiOrio had no time to respond and the Turkey Tom fucking allegations were bullshit. It's retards.
Yeah, it was a live podcast. It was a lot of fun. I'm sure there's going to be people that say he is biased. He's, he's been compromised. Tectone is paying Sensitive Society thousands of dollars to not talk about him or to not release a video about it. And to that I respond, I wish. Tectone, where's my check? If you could slap me 10 G's, I mean, I would, keep my mouth shut.
But again, my problem isn't with the bias, but due to how utterly dog.
I really hope RobsMedia and fucking Gamer from Mars is not the same person. I don't think they are. I don't think Gamer from Mars' name is Rob. They have the same voice, and I hate this guy. I feel like I've seen videos from before, but this is just so disingenuous, and I'm giving reasons, right? I'm giving context, breakdowns to how he's presenting this badly. I'm not just making things up or being a dick rider, right? I'm not being a right-wing chud or a left-wing bitch.
Shit this video is. He just lazily reacts to legal mindset and flat out denies a
No, he doesn't just fucking...
possibility of...
Is there also a chance that legal mindset, even if people's mad at him for this Go East shit or whatever, I don't know why they're hating on him. Internet lawyers are wrong all the time. They're all fucking grifters and panhandlers, honestly, but like... Same thing with Legal Eagle. If people don't like him and find him disingenuous, is the shit they not put on the screen not like real facts, though? Could we not take these and make up our own mind? This is true. Tectone has not been convicted of any criminal act. He hasn't. I'll check on the fucking mugshots. If he were arrested for anything, he'd have a fucking mugshot. So you cannot, indeed, you cannot say he's a rapist. He isn't convicted. Is this not true? Fucking legal mindset's making shit up. And like I said, I guess just call anybody in the commentary community fucking rapist and fucking child molesters and shit. That's why they were mad about the iDubbbz lawsuit, because they want to be able to say that about people all day long. Because if iDubbbz were to get sued by Ethan Klein, it wouldn't have set a precedent for shit because it's Canada. But RobsMedia would be sued under the same precedent. Just saying shit, you know?
Tectone being a rapist. He obviously doesn't know what he's talking about and is only going along with what his friends are saying.
I want to make this very clear. This is allegations for now. It's not definitive.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I gave RobsMedia... Okay, no, we watched the Think Before You Sleep video, so let's see how This is where we're gonna make our decision. This is their rap battle. This is Think Before You Sleep and RobsMedia going at it. I might never watch Nick DiOrio again, because he's team anti-Think Before You Sleep in this. So, and he said Think Before You Sleep is stupid. And his opinion's stupid. But, I'm sorry, his video is way better than fucking RobsMedia. RobsMedia would never make a video on the fucking secret from Oprah and how that changes things. Because he can't read and doesn't know what context is.
I haven't even gotten to the worst video covering this situation.
This is the worst video. Okay, maybe I should just watch someone else's video, because this one was the fucking worst.
situation, which
maybe he hates buildings. Maybe he hates those pictures of Japan. It's possible.
easily belongs to Think Before You Sleep. Just like Oscar, I used to be pretty friendly with this guy, which started when we were both in drama with Noah Samson back in 2024. But since then, I've noticed him making moves to get integrated into the Asmongold orbit.
Yeah, Asmon... No, I'm sorry. I just think Before You Sleep's in a different category. Asmon responds to whatever... I'm not denying the Asmongold charges that he is just responding to whatever slops on his algorithm. That's why I do watch him sometimes. I don't have his algorithm. So it's like, I'll dip into the pool on another side of the internet. I am fully aware of what I'm watching with Asmongold. He's not doing the research Think Before You Sleep does. It's just not the same. Think Before You Sleep... Okay, so like, he'll talk about Charlie Kirk and all this stuff, and it's terrible. And you know, the same talking points anyone else would have. Meanwhile, Think Before You Sleep puts out a video on violent leftist, and instead of saying, I hate the left and they killed Charlie Kirk, he breaks down how it's related to literacy. It's related to people who don't learn with phonics and learn to memorize words. They're more emotionally attached to words, so buzzwords gets them all in a tizzy. And the government kind of wants to make you dumb to control you with words and shit. It's true.
Culminating in what I can only describe as a hit piece against Pink. He mainly just focuses on her testimony from the trial and attempts to nitpick it, but it comes across as desperate. Like this.
But are all these things wrong then? How's come you did the exact same thing? You took the things you wanted and you presented them and he's not allowed to? I mean, yeah, I don't give a fuck about Pink. She's a whore. I throw her testimony out. I'm sorry, I'm making my mind up.
This guy has no basic understanding of how abusive relationships work.
Now,
Hey, if you care about Pink, why aren't you telling her to go to a fucking psychologist? She shouldn't be throwing her tits on the internet and doing OnlyFans if she's a fucking abuse victim. An abuse victim, RobsMedia? I'm sorry, she's a fucking whore. I don't mean to be the victim blamer, but she is not fucking traumatized. She is either fucking so mentally unwell that she thinks showing her tits will fix her trauma, and putting on this stupid fucking goth makeup, that's really gonna help your... I'm sorry, that's really gonna help your trauma, fucking being 14 and being a hot topic girl. Oh boy. She's also not a rape victim because fucking Tectone didn't fuck her and you made fun of her for that. I'm sorry, this is stupid. This is stupid. This is dumb. This is a bad channel.
Time you go to the hospital or see a doctor, they're going to ask you, why are you here? Surely if Tectone was so abusive that she just had to get out of the house, and she had to tell his roommate how afraid she was, she would have also told the doctors, well, you see, I have this really abusive ex-boyfriend. But she didn't do that. In fact, the doctors specifically asked her if she had been a victim of abuse. Pink Shoe says yes.
Guys, what if we just started rounding up every man who is accused of rape ever? And just killed him, right on the spot, because there's nothing more terrible than being a rapist, right? Would you all vote for that? Because we shouldn't need a court of fucking law. These testimonies, I don't know why we're showing fucking any of them. We should have just killed Tectone on the spot. Women don't lie about this shit. I cannot believe fucking men like RobsMedia has gotten fucking tricked by this shit. It's just so women can fucking... It's just so the ones who do want to lie and fucking make a big deal out of molehills while other actual rape victims get fucking ignored and treated like shit by fucking society. Is so they don't have to take fucking accountability for their shit. So they can be a victim and get a fucking hall pass through fucking popularity. Because I'm sorry, she's goth and she's a whore. That's all she has going for her. No wonder she needs to cause drama. I'm being a fucking victim blamer, DemonCringe, all I fucking want. I hate people like this. She's not a fucking victim if her tits are on TV the next fucking day.
But she doesn't mention Tectone. She mentions a prior non-Tectone relationship, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty common in abusive relationships. The victim will...
Yeah, I'm sorry.
...have this intrinsic need to protect their abuser, sometimes because they've been manipulated by that.
The restraining order. She's safe forever. He's not going at her as far as I've heard. He hasn't. It's weird. It's weird. He's such a stalker and an abuser. But until the law comes involved and there's a restraining order, all of a sudden he isn't a stalker and an abuser anymore, huh? Is that how it worked? How's come he wasn't stalking and abusing her the whole time they were broken up in between the court case? This violent schizophrenic. Like, Where's the messages where he's like, fucking, I'll kill myself and kill you, and oh my god. It sounds like he's not into this chick anymore and he left her. That's what it sounds like.
That person into believing their harmful actions are normal, but TBYS gives Pink no grace at all, and occasionally
Because we shouldn't to people who say they're a victim of something serious. And like I said, you're not taking it seriously when you're wearing fucking goth makeup, having your anime and shit here, fucking looking like a clown, dressing like a 14-year-old. Don't talk about serious fucking subjects. If you want to be taken fucking seriously, act like a grown-up and be taken fucking seriously. Fuck this bitch.
goes on these unhinged rants about her appearance. I remember him doing this during his coverage of Illymation.
Because oh my god, is Illymation gonna be a victim now too?
But it's even weirder here.
Pinkchu, who...
Okay, this is some bullshit, RobsMedia. So everybody is Think Before You Sleep's ally when they can use him as a victim from Illymation because no one can copyright strike or flag around here. That is the most illegal. They'll all unite over that. But like, so they literally use Think Before You Sleep is a, oh my god, he's a victim, let's all save him. But then the second that he's not on their team, oh my god, can you believe he called Illymation fat? What a freak!
Also goes by her middle name Ashley, is an OnlyFans creator who's achieved success after getting a very noticeable amount of plastic surgery, followed by a generous use of photo editing
Oh god, what are you gonna say here, Rob?
tools. I mean, this is an insane amount of catfishing. I'm not even looking at the same person when I compare a live stream to a photo of her.
And I don't think that mention of plastic surgery was unintentional. He later uses it to paint her as a liar when it comes to the lip filler story.
Pinkchu said that she had just gotten lip filler, and Tectone had forced her into oral sex, which had ruined the lip filler.
I don't think he painted her as a liar. I think he just said this is fucking retarded.
Geez, another plastic surgery related incident? Do all of her allegations have some sort of plastic surgery?
I had just got my lips done. They were very swollen and painful, like you could still see the injection sites, and he asked me to suck his dick, and I said no. That would ruin my lip injections, because, you know, if you don't let them settle, it'll migrate. Well, fucking, you know, Tectone hates migrants. That's why this happened. That's why they had to prove white supremacists. And he's like, oh, but it's really hot. It's really hot when they're swollen like that. They look all big and fat, and I'm like, I can't. Because it's gonna mess up my face. Well, this is confirmed by the things he said before. Okay, you guys want to talk about my OC? Don't. There's Satan version, human version, and DemonCringe version. And then because this happened when we were lying in bed. He then put my face, okay, so this is the allegation here. Okay, when you say he made you, I know this is difficult. Can you describe to the court of action he took to force you to do so? He grabbed the back of my head slowly and opened my mouth, okay? And he made public comments about this, well, that I believe is in my timeline. Okay, well, we'll get to public comments in a minute. But did you end up having issues with your lip filler after the incident? Yes. So, because he did that, this is exactly what Think Before You Sleep is saying. Yeah, her lip filler did get messed up. What's your point?
Involved? Now, is there any corroborating evidence that this happened? Not really.
Oh yeah, no evidence. It's not like there's compilations of Tectone basically...
Well, he is fucking dating a fucking chick that fucking gets plastic surgery. Once again, red flag.
To this.
This is very obvious, like lip filler in the top lip. You know, it's very delicate. Like with the lip injections, you can't throat fuck them as hard as you want to because then it'll fuck up their filler. So it's like they'll look really hot, but you can only go like 10% power on them. You have to be careful. Okay, so the reason why it sucks, fucking women who look like that is because I'm like a very like hard fucker. You know what I mean? Like I go very hard, like very hard, very fast.
Also, you can't trust a fucking... Are we gonna fucking take what men say to each other in their chat seriously? Like, I give Hassan Piker leeway. I give Destiny leeway. I understand that some of the clips of them floating around are hyperbole.
Like, it's fine to, like, start off slow, but then it becomes like a battle, right? Of who can fuck each other the hardest. Right.
But what makes this video unintentionally hilarious is that TBYS concocts this grand conspiracy that Tectone's enemies organize behind the scenes to destroy his career. You see, Pinkchu is...
But here's the thing, RobsMedia. Think Before You Sleep is referencing the super mega drama. That is exactly what happened there. Fucking Morgpie was mad that someone didn't call her back. It was Matt that she was fucking because Matt and his girlfriend were on a break. She was fucking him. Matt decided to get back with his fiance or whatever, so he was done with the floozy. She was mad, but she was friends with Leighton, who worked for Super Mega, who was friends with Lex Updog, who was friends with Nick, who is not green, who had a commentary channel. She conspired to get them canceled and ruin their fucking lives. That is exactly what fucking happened. So what you're saying is because it happened once, it could never happen again. What?
Friend of Morgpie, and Morgpie was also a false accuser.
Like I said, Paris Hilton got rich because she sucked a dick and had a porn video leak. It wasn't a leak. They do it on purpose. And then Kim Kardashian does the same thing with Ray J and has the exact same success, perfume lines, all that. You don't think one learned from the other. You really don't think so. You think it's all coincidence. You are the best feminist in the world, RobsMedia. I gotta say, you believe all women to the fucking end.
User in the Super Mega drama, making her untrustworthy, and she's friends with Chank's nephew, who has a legion of orbiters willing to slander Tectone, and Mizkif is also there pulling the strings.
They literally did this to Ethan Klein, though. You all saw it.
It's all orchestrated, guys.
Now, pay attention to who Pink2's friend Morgpie is friends with. Would it shock you if I said that Hassan Piker is a friend of hers? I don't know how every bad thing on social media always relates back to this social circle, but it seems to be the case. Why is that important? Well, Hassan Piker has this ongoing war with Asmongold, probably because he's mad that
Guys, what is think before you sleep saying that is wrong here? What is not possible? Keep in mind, what the fuck was the content cop against motherfucking Ethan? What has been the Ethan, you're mentally ill? Ethan, you're being concerned trolled. Ethan, you don't really believe this about Israel? How dare you, Ethan, denounce the genocide now. But these people would never ever. Not that. They wouldn't go after... They would never go after this fucking user, though. You know, Tectone was saying all those things and getting a whole bunch of hits, talking shit on Hassan. But also, though, Tectone was still cringe at Elon Musk, though, so... Can't forgive that.
is more famous than him. Hassan likes to sit back and have his little lackeys do all the dirty work for him. This is a famous tactic of his, and he primarily works by not directly saying that he has certain value.
What isn't true here, RobsMedia? What isn't fucking true here? You cover these people.
He will signal boost all the people who have the values that he wants to promote by watching their content on his stream. That being said, Tectone is friends with Asmongold.
Yeah, the bad empanada video being a fucking example, that was to boost the CPS shit. Denims knew what she was fucking doing.
Hassan wants to attack Asmongold in any way that he can, so I think his lackeys came up with a plot to destroy Tectone. They do this a lot.
Or, stay with me for a moment, most of these guys already hated Tectone, and were simply jumping on the bandwagon. This take...
And saying that he wanted to make sure that she was an adult.
Dude, he hates him that much. He sees some hate against him online. And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna follow this guy. Hey, dude, I hate Mizkif too. Thank you for shitting on him. So he said, regardless of your opinion of me, I still appreciate straight shooters these days. Dude, I don't know if you ever seen my streams. I don't know if this is because you saw my streams or whatever. I don't really got an issue with you, but every time I react to you, I definitely call you like a retarded egghead bitch or something like that.
Tectone obviously can't shit talk Pink anymore because of the protective order, so he needs an army of mouthpieces to do it for him.
I think what this guy said's fair, but I'm sorry. Then I need to see evidence that he's stalking this bitch and is obsessed with her and really wants to do all these things. I watch Lifetime as well, RobsMedia. You cannot put abuse fucking words on people without proving it. I'm sorry. When is this guy stalking her? Why isn't she killing herself? She's so traumatized. It's not the rom-com fucking Bella Twilight things I grew up on.
And Think Before You Sleep is one of his strongest soldiers, attacking Tectone's biggest critics. He soon made this tweet to
Think Before You Sleep has more fucking subscribers than all of you. Is that why you're all mad?
In reference to the recently debunked Turkey Tom allegation.
Turkey Tom's accusers retracted all her statements and formally apologized. We saw that on stream. It's crazy how a fat retard with allegations of being a Discord pedophile and a fatter retard whose friend will just falsely accuse will say you are sweeping for someone because he said, "Where's the corroborating evidence?" and pointed the accuser lying under oath. I'm sorry, Think Before You Sleep is just smarter than these people. What, fucking Nick DiOrio does some stupid fucking tech job and RobsMedia probably does live at his fucking... What do we got? He's from fucking Florida. Who gives a fuck? Honestly,
I definitely called...
I'm sorry. I don't listen to swamp people.
You can't go through it and you can't knock it down. You know that you found the wall. The moment on earth can make you fall. When you come to it and you can't go through